Come one, come all, to the most momentous occasion, the renaming ceremony of the renowned vessel known presently as the Scrapbucket. Now don't be fooled by its humble title or unassuming stature. This ship has survived dangerous encounters with war criminals and beasts, dire sharks and daring, has stolen away with secrets the likes of which Lazar has never seen. And I've not even begun to introduce you to the crew gracing its deck. Luca Carnson, the shield at my back, a dauntless seeker and protector with hands that heal. His kindness may be boundless, but make no mistake, if its wicked ends you seek, it's his blade which will put you to sleep. Willow Cordovan, the dauntless captain who turns the tides of the storm. This genius artificer moonlights as a spellbreaker and a saboteur, with intuition so sharp they need not rely on spyglass nor compass to guide us to shore. And myself, though technically not me, but the persona I traditionally present. Then, the player of snapdragons, the repurposed blade, the awoken child. Seeker Elsa encouraged me to perhaps allow myself into N's world, to familiarize myself with its colors, textures, compassion. I've concluded that reciting N's experiences is as good an opportunity as any to do this. So, first and foremost, I imagine you may be eager to hear what became of Luca's grand plan to apologize to Willow. It was a scheme a long time in the making, with N recruited as something akin to a partner in crime. Equipped with riddles, both written and spoken, N was to don an unfamiliar face and impart these messages upon Willow. Once tasked with this treasure map of words, Willow would venture forth, scurrying this way and that until the true path finally revealed itself to them. I nor N witnessed what occurred after Willow found Luca, but given the two seemed amicable by the time of the following dawn, I must conclude that they made peace with one another. An immense relief, as we will be departing upon the same vessel of limited capacity. Carrying friction aboard would be unpleasant for all involved. Fortunately, Luca does not seek conflict, and Willow is not one to hold a grudge, so I'm confident they settled any lingering confusion that their unfortunate clash of emotions caused. As for me, I also had some business to attend to. That is to say, I'm not so uncouth as to take my leave without extending heartfelt thanks to Seeker Elsa, the one who helped see me through these challenging times. So I invited her to dance with me in the garden of the Nodding Poppy. My intention was purely to convey my appreciation for all she has done for N, but I appear to have gotten a bit carried away. To be frank with you, honesty is not my strong suit. However, artists often tout a particular piece of advice. Trust the process. And so I did, which is why I found myself not only confessing to Seeker Elsa that my eye is capable of independent communication, but also speaking of Neve, and sibling. I find myself in a peculiar position. I was born in Sharn, but never once met Neve. After the Snapdragon incident occurred, I slept for 5 years, and now I'm here, awake and aware, as if Sharn is mere months behind me. The pain of missing them is as raw as it was the day I was born, and as tender as an open wound. And fears the pain of this wound reoccurring, yet I exist there with it, gaping, as it always has. So, perhaps that is why I found myself capable of telling our stories. The affliction is a friend to me, one I sat with night after night. Sharing it with another is a weight lifting from my chest rather than a knife in an old scar. My hope is that one day N will feel the same. That release of desperate pressure, strange, stinging relief in the mention of them. But tonight I shall not linger on memories. Friend must prepare for the here and now, a celebration, the renaming of the Scrapbucket. Many were invited to this event, among them Captain Varys, Seeker Elsa, Bruno Saltbeard, Brina Madani, Jaylee Hazelwit, and Seeker Nereus, but many more appear to have caught wind of the festivities, the entirety of Salvage to be exact. It's a good thing N took the liberty of baking multiple loaves of bread, as I would say we have quite the after-party to cater for. An impressive audience is gathering for this simple ceremony. I'm certain the fact the dates coincide with Willow's birthday is a mere coincidence, yes? Well, if you'll excuse me, The stagehand must make himself scarce. The show is about to begin.
He's so much.
Very cute.
Such a cutie.
Thanks.
About to be silly about you.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we'll meet him one day.
I don't know that guy. Who is that guy?
Who is he? How did he get in here? Who let him in?
Who the hell is that guy?
So, I believe we begin the morning with one Willow Jenkins.
Wow.
What you up to as you are preparing for the day's events?
Much to do. Feels kind of surreal to be waking up here. Certainly wasn't planning to be in Salvage on my birthday. Kind of didn't even think about my birthday upcoming.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably why Willow gave themselves an entire ceremony to plan. Quite last minute, so a fair bit to do today. And I think that's going to sort of pull Willow out of bed before they start thinking of too much else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, first and foremost, the usual tea, whatever leftover breakfast is there to eat or snack on, and just like beginning to make their boat presentable. They have a few things to do before the evening comes.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, shall I commence the list?
Why not?
Okay. On the list would be... Okay, so they're going to take out their journal. They're going to write out a plan for what the ceremony entails, the ship renaming ceremony, because since getting to Salvage, I believe, or rather, probably more so in the Principalities than back home, they are aware that not renaming a ship is tempting the Devourer to sink it, rather not letting the seas know that you have renamed your ship.
Yeah.
Is tempting fate a little bit in the way that Willow is not wanting to do.
Mm-hmm.
So this will involve the removal of the old name, which means Willow has to strike it from their journal and any other instances of the Scrapbucket, which thankfully they haven't really marked anything aboard their boat, so it's just what they've written in their log, their boat log, and the little plaque on the front of the ship, the little golden one that they place on the side. Then the purging ceremony itself, which usually Willow remembers, like usually they make some sort of like plight to the Devourer, usually through spoken word and stuff, and Willow's starting to think like, okay, I need to figure out what to say there that's not hammy but isn't also like understated, like we want the Devourer to listen. Usually that's like song, but Willow's not going to sing. You
need something appropriate for the occasion.
So there's that, and then the actual renaming, which Willow has sorted. They've already got the name. They probably already... Oh no, they might not have made the plaque yet. How long would the plaque have taken to make?
Probably not that long.
Do you think I can make it today?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Okay. 1 second. What was I up to? The plaque. Oh yeah, I can make that later today then. I wonder if I could make it off my boat, because I don't think there is meant to be any instance of the new name on the boat until I've purged the old one.
For sure.
I can just make that while sitting on the docks, or maybe at the workshop, the salvage blacksmith, like where the smithies are. Yeah, that's fine. And so then the renaming, and then of course I probably already have the champagne, I believe. I would have bought that from Regal Port that day.
Yes.
And that should be it. I've paid for Eka to feed the village. And all things willing, that should be according to plan. So, okay, trying to start the actual first bit of it is removing the old name. So I think we're going to see Willow just like sitting at their table for a while, crossing the Scrapbucket out of every instance in their journal, which is probably a not insignificant amount of times.
Yep.
And then the part about what to say. No, what do you think the Salvage folk would do as their, like, I don't know what to say, homage to the Devourer or whatever it is. Their plea.
I think it is like spoken word and tossing some offering into the sea. It has to like sink to the bottom of the ocean. That's part of it. If it doesn't sink all the way down, that's an ill omen. Means the
Here you go, Devourer, and you just leave it floating out of reach, so he has to surface like a fish and eat your boat.
No, it's more like if it doesn't sink, it means that the Devourer hasn't consumed it, you know?
Right.
So it's like,
well,
the effigy wasn't accepted. That's bad.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
it's
Willow
like
plans.
when a kid doesn't eat their vegetables.
Are you referring to the Devourer as a kid not eating broccoli? Oh man.
If the broccoli fits, you know.
Just Willow lobbing broccoli off the deck of their ship. Eat up! To make you grow big and strong. No, I think Willow has intention to toss the Scrapbucket pluck into the sea as a kind of what is being purged.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and then the sea will, erode the title away over time, which is... Would you mind explaining to... I keep referring to the Devourer. I just realized that I'm not sure if we've spoken about the Devourer.
Well, the Devourer is the Dark Six deity of nature's wrath. So responsible for storms and natural disasters, that sort of thing.
So all of this is like a please don't sink my boat.
Yep.
From the sailors.
Yep.
And
I
know I changed
being a sailor is very much dependent on luck, so you want to appease it as much as you can, you know?
Yeah.
Superstition is founded in this world.
Very much. I don't know if Willow would have had such been so beholden to this superstition until they started living here.
Yeah.
And at this stage, it's like, well, then why would I not?
Yep.
In saying that, though, I do think Willow's sitting there thinking of the spoken word stuff that has been said in Salvage before. And also, they have witnessed other boat renamings.
Yes.
Specifically, we already spoke about it. The renaming of the Storm Chaser was also something. But I do think that the style of, spoken word to the sea doesn't, or rather to the Devourer, because he's also the Storms, doesn't really jive with them, and Willow's own wording is a bit average. I think Willow's looking at their words like, oh god, if I were the Devourer, I'd eat you just for being so bad at this. And so I think, when Willow starts to think of what wording they could use, if only they could ask a poet. And at that stage, they've been avoiding looking at it for a while. But I think I should consult Tarek Elham.
Yes. You do have that book of poetry of his that you've acquired.
And it was only published last year. So, I mean, he probably has something about boats.
Probably.
You also just email him on your cell phone.
I could, I'll just call Meraldine hi, does Tarek have a moment?
Yeah.
And she responds, no, and then I can't talk until tomorrow, and he misses the ceremony, so that's probably not gonna work. I have to do this the old-fashioned way. My preferred way, honestly. Read a book.
Yeah. Read about it.
Yeah. I think almost like Willow's trying to, deceive themselves into opening the book. They place it on the table next to their journal, like they haven't been avoiding doing this for weeks and flatly press it open and just begin to skim for anything that looks like it's about ships or boats or the ocean or storms. Something with energy enough to kind of call to the ear of the sea is what they're thinking of.
Yes. So, you do a little glance through the page of contents, since something likely will be in the title, at least.
The anthology is called, what is it called again? 1,000?
1,000 glass butterflies.
Yeah, so Willow also doesn't trust that he's going to be straightforward about it.
Yes. Give me a quick little investigation check.
Oh my.
Just don't roll a 1.
You know who you're
I'll
talking
try.
to, right?
Wow! Oh, hold the phone. Sorry, it's just loading. Willow Jinky, Willow Jinky. Open up your character sheet. Character sheet. Nice. Okay. Investigation. If I roll a 1, do I have fish dog?
I believe
Not like
not.
fish dog can give me investigation.
Well, yes.
Do I have fish dog? I have.
Oh, yes, you do.
We discussed this
You
last
do
stream.
have-
I do.
Yes. Because you
Yes.
don't have your pockets.
Yeah, no pockets in front of me. Okay, I'll roll my investigation. I'll just trust myself. It's my birthday. Oh, yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Okay, so the two most prominent ones that have mentions of ships at sea is Ode to a Sailing Ship and White Lilies.
That second one makes me think of his memorial shrine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the second one is a little more sad, let's say.
I think Willow will bookmark it, like, you know, on the way you hold like 2 parts of a book open to flip back and forth. Like when you're reading a Goosebumps, choose your own adventure, and you don't want to consign yourself to your fate. Everyone else got that life experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah. You go forward and it's like, you died. No, I didn't. I'm choosing to go to a different page.
I mean, if I
think-
died, I can, like, you know, the story's over, and I could just pretend I redid the story up until this point and pick a different option. You know, it checks
That's
out.
the one. It checks out. Take that, R.L. Stein. Anyway, yeah, Willow's probably going to sort of glance over at the White Lilies one. What? It's you say it's like a little bit sad, poignant.
It's, yes, poignant, and seems to be referring to a journey away from something.
I think as much as Willow has like recently dealt with the folly and all of that, they kind of don't want to bring that particular energy to the boat renaming ceremony, which is a celebration.
Yes.
They will
Maybe
have
for
to book
another
that one later.
occasion.
Yeah, they might bookmark it. I do imagine Willow to have little like marker tabs.
Yeah.
So they'll bookmark it, pop their first little tab in there under White Lilies, and then go back to Ode to a Sailing Ship, which sounds promising.
Yeah. Seems to be a short poem about the nature of a ship and sailor.
Cool. I think. I mean, that works. If Willow can read it without getting, like, upset or, you know, maybe even feeling something close to, I don't know, inspired? Not inspired. I think Willow likes it.
That's good enough.
Yeah. And now the only concern is who's going to say it. Because I think
Well-
Willow might start to try and read it aloud and be like, no, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. Like the big breath of like, nah, I'm
No.
not reciting poetry at this boat renaming ceremony. It's my birthday. I don't need to do that. And who springs to mind immediately is, of course, N.
They do
I think
have
on
a
their-
certain degree of panache.
Yeah, they have the drama.
They sure do.
So yeah, I think Willow will write that down on their plans, and then I think with that they're gonna just commence their day
Okay.
and probably go to finalizing the plaque
Mm-hmm.
for the new name.
Cool. Does anybody else have anything to do in the early morning before the day starts really picking up pace?
No.
Nothing in particular, I don't think.
No.
All right. In which case, let's montage a little bit forward. Let me describe as the day unfolds. Salvage is filled with its usual morning bustle, the fishing boats setting out for their catch, the ovens stoking in anticipation of fresh bread, dock workers singing merrily to help keep the rhythm of their labors. But something today is different. The bakeries and the quail are all busy preparing a feast of baked goods. Other vendors are setting aside stock, and speculations drift through the air like the gulls overhead. Is it a holiday today? Dunno. I think there's a party. Whose? Somebody at the docks, probably. When the foreman Bruno Saltbeard declares a half day of work in anticipation of the ship renaming ceremony this eve, it is then that the idle curiosities transform into a low roar of enthusiasm. Every able body does their work with vigor, the promise of feasting and festivities lifting the spirits of the little village like a rising tide. Soon, nearly every soul in Salvage is putting together something for the party tonight, even if they don't really know the particulars. By late afternoon, an impromptu carnival has sprouted along the docks. In only a matter of hours, the whole area has been festooned with banners and garlands of colored paper and wildflowers. Vendors have set up makeshift stalls providing food, drink, and even games, some in the back of wagons or off tables dragged out into the square, and others even off the decks of the little boats moored to the harbor. The smells of fresh-baked hand pies, grilled fish, summer fruits, ciders, and cordials fill the air as the afternoon sun of a beautiful summer's day bathes everything in a warm gold. It hardly matters what the reason for the celebration is, but near everyone in Salvage has come to join in. What are you all doing as the energy picks up? And things blossom from what should have been a small celebration among friends to sort of a village-wide festival for any excuse.
I imagine Luca and N are dressing up nicer than usual for this event, especially hearing the bustle outside.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's probably just gathering up their things. Like, they baked all this bread, and good thing, too, since there's so many people now. So they're probably just packing that into, I don't know, some kind of big containers into a big bag that they can maybe then hoist upon Luca.
I am a pack mule, yes.
Yes. And then also gathering up the stuff they might want to give to Willow now and later. Just so they have it on them. In another bag, smaller than the bag that contains the numerous number of loaves.
Yeah, I imagine Seeker Elsa is also helping you out with all that. Though it seems like there's going to be plenty of food provided from what you can see.
Well, doesn't hurt to bring our own special touch, especially for Willow in particular, since me and Luca may or may not be aware that this is, maybe a even more special day than Willow's letting on?
Do you think Willow knows that they're basically made a whole village-wide party by accident for themselves?
Well,
Do I? I do live here.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like you'd be aware of the influence you might have on the local, population.
I can
Yeah,
kind of-
you kind of see the snowball effect happening as soon as you've roped Eka in to do include the whole docks. It's like, oh, this is going to get out of control real fast.
I can imagine Willow's working in the smithy. Is it called a smithy? Or the people's smithy?
It's a general. Yeah, it is a smithy. I imagine you're working with the general sort of workshop area.
Yeah, a graceful smithy. Anyway, no, yes, the workshop area. I think I can clearly see Willow working on their little plaque and getting everything very perfect about it. It's bigger than the Scrapbucket one, but it's still quite little for a ship name. Willow hasn't painted it across the hull.
Yeah.
If the devourer wants to see it, he's gonna have to squint. You're gonna have to come up real close. But I can imagine behind them there is that budding momentum of building excitement, and Willow's got that prickle on the back of their neck, I think that's for me. And just more diligently, let's just really perfect these corners. Actually,
I don't see it. It's not real.
Yeah. If every other, I don't think Willow's actually told anybody in Salvage their birthday, have they? No, surely by now someone would have asked.
You told
But
us.
I don't think they celebrate it.
It's on your work forms with Bruno.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I don't think.
Of course,
But
the
anyway,
work
I'm
forms
sure.
that Willow surely signed.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm very good at signing forms. Yeah, that's my thing. Yeah.
I'm sure you have, because Bruno wouldn't let you get away with it otherwise.
Right. Yeah. He just notices
But,
you haven't had a birthday this year. Hey. When are you born?
Yeah.
Do you think he gives days off work for your birthday?
Sure.
Probably.
That's nice of him.
I mean, he just gave
But
the
yeah, I
whole
think Willow-
place a half day for you.
He did.
So
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I do think, without meaning to, Willow's low-key avoiding everyone.
Mm-hmm.
They're just kind of sitting in a corner in the workshop, maybe if I stay quiet, they won't notice me.
Holes themselves up.
Yeah.
Well,
They likely take their jacket off to do the work so that they're not so Willow's here, but their jacket is in the room, being bright and loud.
in the way that they aren't.
Mm.
That being said, the end of the day comes pretty quick, and then everybody is starting to set up for this impromptu party. Feels like they're just celebrating. It's it turned from workplace party to whole neighborhood party.
Loki hoping
Quite
and,
quickly.
yeah. Can I send Fish Dog to the Nodding Poppy?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna send Fish Dog over because I need N to open up a message, and N hasn't messaged me yet, so I'm just send me a letter in your fancy book.
check
Okay.
your DMs, please.
Call me, please.
Right, so the fish dog shows up and delivers this message to me while Anne is
Mm-hmm.
preparing their clothing for the evening, throwing on the scarf
Important
mostly.
question. Does Fish Dog bang against the door when it is not noticed again?
I feel like the door would be open today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's only because the first time it was very, very early in the morning. At this point,
Yeah.
it's later in the afternoon, and Fish Dog can just zoop
Zip
inside.
on in, find Anne,
Windows are open.
Yeah.
find Anne tossing a scarf over their shoulder, and then and yeah, and we'll get the message literally, and open up their book and say, "What's up?"
could I ask you a favor for today?
Sure.
Oh my god, I can't think of what Willow's trying to think of where they.
And staring at the
Okay, they
blank
said
page
yes.
for 5 minutes.
How long do I have? Like, how long does the signal remain open?
It doesn't say. So all I can assume
Okay.
is as long as you like.
Willow's
Just
going
every now and then, like if you spend like more than a minute, it's probably N just has to send a question mark.
Yeah.
to bump. Willow's going to say, meet me at the long pause, probably a line break. Like while Willow's looking over their shoulders to try and think of somewhere that's kind of quiet that won't get them like snatched up by people.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrators, as it were.
And feel free to mention a place because while Willow's just gone quiet.
Do I know any good like quiet places where you might trade illicit substances like behind a building? Any like place like that I spotted in
Oh,
some.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you could find some alleyways. I'm sure there are places where it's not the main thoroughfare.
Yeah. So
The beach? Where I threw pebbles
Sure.
at you?
yeah,
Sure.
we can go there.
I want N to suggest it.
I mean, Ed's not probably going to suggest that. Ed's going to probably suggest some behind some dilapidated building, because that's...
You're so funny. Anyway, Willow will say the beach, eventually.
Okay. Sure
It's so
thing.
vague. I think en route to the beach, Willow's going to be like, I didn't really specify a place, but hopefully N knows like where my boat used to be docked.
Ed's going to assume the
ground?
quieter beach, considering that was your stipulation for location before you decided to
Yep.
choose it yourself, so...
Stipulation for location. Yep. You're a freestyle rapper.
It's the fail in me, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Do I have to do any like stealth checks or anything to see if I get there? Okay.
If you want to. Do you want to be sneaking around?
I do. I'll put my armor on.
Okay.
I mainly want to avoid like Bruno.
I think everybody is too busy like actually setting up to bother you.
Nice.
And like as long as you don't make yourself overly obvious, you should be able to escape with nothing more than like a few greetings.
Yeah. I think
Just
Willow's
look busy,
chucked on,
you
like-
know?
Yeah. They got their like jacket slung over their arm and probably their black bandana on, and they're just kind of like scurrying past, like, no worries. Jogs to the beach.
Yeah. You meet N there.
Yep. And hasn't bothered to take off their scarf and the eye patch they put on, so they're just wearing that and sitting on the beach.
We'll say it's afternoon now. Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. To what do I owe the pleasure? It says standing up and brushing sand off themselves.
Have you been to a boat renaming ceremony?
Doubt it, Azek.
Nope.
Ben shakes their head with a shrug.
Right. Well, there's a section of it that it's not really my speed, and I was wondering if you'd like to do it instead.
Well, as long as it doesn't involve great strength, I can probably pull it off.
No, it's poems. We'll now pull Tarek's book out of their jacket pocket, regular jacket pocket, not party pocket,
Yep.
and rifle through it and points out the second tab that they've put in
Mm-hmm.
and hand it to N.
Yeah, and we'll accept it. Do you think N notices the name on the front? Because I imagine they might, like, with a thumb tucked in where Willow pointed out, they might, like, flip to the front cover.
Make a quick perception check.
Okay.
Whether you notice the little note to Warford Bartosz is what I'm curious about.
I'm not looking at the front inner page.
Wolf,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
Mhm.
This is a book of poetry by Tarek Elham.
Oh. Yep. And just makes a mental note of that and flips back to the page. Takes a moment to scan over the poem. Gives a little nod. I just read this out when I'm called upon.
Mm.
I
If you don't mind.
think I can manage that.
I think you can too. I'll have Luca do something as well. I'm imagining he'll be well suited to handing out the toasts. Or rather, the first west to east. Or is it east to west? Willow started mumbling to themselves.
Yeah, it's like
while
you
they're
lost
thinking.
me.
Nevertheless, he'll have a role to play.
Good. I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that. Should I hold on to this? And waves the book in the air, or do you want it back?
No, may as well.
All right. And Willow's put a tab in to the poem they want
Yeah.
read, so end.
Two of them, actually.
Mm.
But I've indicated to you that I want you to read the ode one.
Yeah.
What was it called again? Ode to a sailing ship?
Ode to a sailing
Yes.
ship. Yeah.
Ode to Joy.
Not that one.
Probably not, considering the contents of maybe not quite the word I'd use to describe it.
God of Glory? You sure? Yeah, and Willow will also mention, before you come as well, can you ensure that Luca and yourself have no indication of the scrapbucket on you, just in case you've written in your journal? Or Luca and his?
Oh, is that like a thing with ships?
Mm-hmm. We have to purge the old name, so we can't have it still floating on the ship, otherwise, I don't know. The winds will know.
It's probably a bad time to tell you that I had painted the word scrapbucket on one of the boards and then flipped it around and attached it back to the wall. The home. You know, you probably want to find that and get rid of it.
I think Willow's just gonna like. Your scarf looks like immaculately laid, yeah?
Yeah.
Willow's gonna like pick up an edge of it and just like throw it against your face, like when you've been
Tossed
like
by
a
the
sail
wind.
whipping back against you. Yeah.
And just kind of laughs at
Anyway,
that.
thank you for your assistance.
No problem.
Oh, Willow doubles back. Is your friend coming?
Oh, Jiggly? As far as I know, yeah.
Miss Brina and I don't know who else Luca invited. Seeker and Reyes, obviously. Seeker Torg.
Yep, I haven't heard any rejections yet, so can only assume.
I would say you don't need to roll a check. Willow is a little bit like antsy, I think, knowing that the ceremony isn't coming and it's like they started it.
Mm-hmm.
There's all these people coming that I invited and I did this thing. Oh god, consequences! So it's just that kind of like impending nervousness of like I made myself the MC for an event.
Company's coming.
Oh god.
We can't let them know we're sick.
Does Willow
Yeah.
does Willow seem like they might want N to like hang around, help with stuff, or does Willow want to go and scream into the ocean for a little while on their own?
I think you're going to see Willow like their foot tapping, and then they're going to say, "I'm going to go polish the deck."
Ah, yes, you want the boat to be presentable.
And Willow's going to sort of start scampering off, just thinking like, "I just remembered a dust patch that I saw. I haven't dusted behind the barrels." Make the deck shiny, and also put the new plaque on. Willow's probably thinking, but this also means going to the dock. Ugh.
Are you allowed to put the plaque on before the
As long as
name
it's not
has
seen.
changed? Oh, okay. So
As
you
long
gotta
as
put
it's
little
covered.
like banner
Curtain
or-
Cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cute.
So, yeah. I'll be heading back to the dry docks. Thank you.
No problem.
So, day rolls on. Guests of honor start arriving to the bustle.
Huh?
The first, of course, being Varys Greenleaf and his family arriving early.
Oh.
Jake and Isabella and their kids arrive, and like the kids seeing the stalls be set up are immediately like dragging their parents away to look at stuff. Varys finds you, Willow, I'm assuming still aboard your ship doing extra tidying.
Yeah. I think, again, the jacket's still off just because they're kind of like scurrying around.
Yeah.
But he'll probably see now that there's... Oh, you know what? I think Willow's probably put the new plaque on, taken the old one off. But they've hung their bandana over it. Their usual bandana.
Yeah.
The colourful one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the new name is covered.
Mhm.
And yeah, Varys will probably just see them like running around their boat, moving stuff, winding ropes again.
Hello
Making it
there!
look nice.
Calls
Oh.
out.
You!
Me! Hi!
Hi. We'll jump off. Maybe you can hold
Quite
on
a
to this. Sorry, going to immediately slap the old plaque of the Scrapbucket into his hand.
Varys takes it and is like, oh, well, I have something for you as well. And hands over to you a bottle of sparkling wine.
Oh. Oh, okay. Willow looks like they weren't expecting gifts. Weirdly. Idiot. And hesitates, but will accept it. To be
Consider it a ship-warming gift.
Ah, okay. Well, thank you. I think we'll end up using it during the ceremony.
It's quite the commotion that's stirred up around here.
Yeah.
The maiden voyage had
Scratches.
much less pomp about it.
Yeah. I didn't really pump it up, I guess. Probably for this reason, precisely. I wasn't expecting an entire show of it.
Seems like things have gotten a little bit out of your control, hey?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's all in good fun.
No harm in a reason to celebrate, I guess. It's good. Willow says it's good, but with the sweaty palms and looking nervously at everybody. Everybody who is bustling is going to be an audience in a few hours.
Yeah. I imagine you only have about 2 hours left.
Oh my god, I have to polish the
or
deck
so.
again. Kidding.
I think Varys sets down his things and offers to help you out.
Oh, okay. I don't think Willow will deny that. He has a captain's eye. He can come through the ship and sort of, straighten
Yeah.
up any edges that what he would consider proper and good.
Yes. And I imagine reassure you that things are already proper and good.
Oh god, if he identifies that Willow's nervous, then they're just going to be like, don't ruin my day. Don't perceive me! No, okay. They'll accept his
Help.
help. That's the one. Though he must leave the little Scrapbucket plaque off the ship.
Off the ship.
Because it's not
yes.
struck. Unless Willow puts a
yeah.
line through it, but... Hey,
Okay.
maybe he can put the line through it. If he wants to. Does he want to cut it?
I think he'll save that for the ceremony.
No? Okay.
I imagine you'd tell him that you're going to be you're going to be offering this to the Devourer
Mhm.
as the sacrifice.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I think Varys will just leave it on a barrel on the side of the dock and with some stuff and start setting that up. Time moves forward. More
Oh.
people start arriving. We see Brina and Celia arrive together,
Aw.
with Celia holding onto Brina's arm to steady herself while disembarking from the ferry.
Mhm.
Brina makes a comment I think the last time I was on a ship of any kind is when I came to Regalport. I think there'd be more for me to do on ships, being an inquisitive and all, but ended up being pretty stuck on terra firma. Behind them, You hear the grunts and squeak of wheels as Malachi arrives, dragging a very large flower pot behind him in a cart, with a mildly bored-looking pink-haired gnome trundling behind him.
Oh my god!
This is your payback for inviting Wagaruka.
Of course they know each other!
Yeah.
Oh.
All merchants know each other kind of deal.
I mean, specifically, Roz did name Malachi by
right.
name.
Oh my god.
You're right! Why didn't I think of that? Bring a +1! V +1. Oh my god. That's great. Cheers. And a flower pot?
Yeah.
Is
A
that
large flower pot.
Oh,
You'll find out what that is in a minute.
okay.
Hey, a bunch of Venus flytraps gonna eat all of the guests.
But it's a magic
The
item.
flower
so
pot is empty, I will say, at the moment.
Oh.
that's even more ominous, actually.
You know the flower now.
Plants N upside down.
Well, this is about what I expected.
Yeah, I imagine, like, the ceremony is scheduled. Is the ceremony scheduled, or is it just like a at sunset kind of vibe?
Yeah, at sunset. I think I mentioned. So just get here like whenever.
Mm-hmm.
Willow's got that like come whenever. If you miss it, that's fine.
Well, good. So I think those are the only two sort of people that really arrive by ferry that you notice. Seeker Torg arrives a little like mid-sunset. I think as the party is kicking up, like everybody in Salvage that you know and care about is already there down at the docks, like nibbling on snacks, because Eka has set out like this big buffet, but like there's a couple enterprising vendors have taken the opportunity to set up stalls that are selling slightly nicer things, though still pretty cheap. So like glasses of wine or little treats, mostly for under 5 copper, though they do charge like a... I don't know if English has this word, but in German it's called Pfand, where you basically like pay for the cost of the plate or glass that you're taking.
Is
Oh right, yeah.
that like the
I guess
bottle
it's-
payment? as
Yeah.
well?
It's basically for the cutlery and stuff that you're paying
Yeah,
for,
yeah.
so that you get it back if you return the glass and such. But
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
in case you break it or anything like that, it's they
Hmm.
you eat the cost of the glass. You know.
Yeah.
I think mostly we tend to do like paper plates and recyclables. So like if people just chuck them on the ground, it's fine. It's not
It's
fine,
not actually.
but
It's less dangerous, certainly.
Yes.
But this is a small village, and I don't think
yeah.
mass-produced paper plates are quite a thing yet. Most things are like finger food, so like you don't need it for all the things, but certainly for like cups and glasses, like mugs and such, you'll have like a little 5 copper fee to just have a glass.
Or
I
people
can imagine
brought
too.
their own cups. Like, you know how you hang the
Yeah.
cup on the belt? Yeah. Everyone's brought their own cup.
Cute. Like campus. I think
Yeah.
one of the things too is like I imagine Salvage to know that this is going to be an occasion with a lot of toasts. So
Yes.
everyone should have a glass. Or like
Yes.
if not a glass, a flute, like something. I think like bare minimum everyone will have like at least a little
Yeah.
flute kind of thing.
It's probably
or
less
little
flutes and more mugs.
Mugs.
'Cause
Yeah.
they-
I was about to say flute's a bit dramatic. fancy for a salvage. So
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like tankards and stuff like that, you know.
yeah. Actually, I might include this in my costs. Do you think 15 gold would have been enough for champagne and some flutes? Like a pack of 6? Or is that not? No, because they're a bit expensive. They're a bit spency. Do I have flutes on my ship?
Do you? I don't think you would. But,
unless I just like hoarded it.
Yeah.
Or I could have bought one today. Don't think Salvage sells them either. Anyway, we'll have a nice cup. Like, even if it's like a goblet, just as long as it's a little bit nicer than a mug.
Yeah.
Because we was going to feel rude
Easy
handing
enough.
important people a mug of champagne.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
you have goblets and stuff like that. They're not necessarily glass. Most likely they are like a cast metal
Okay.
goblets.
As long as they don't
like,
make the champagne yucky.
No. They are safe for drinking out of.
Sweet. They probably look cooler too. Can I say I got an image as well? So one of the things that happens in like real life boat naming ceremonies, I couldn't find much detail about it, but they say that like, it's your what's the word? If you want, you can put like a green branch or leaf on the front of the boat, sort of as a probably more Varys, a green leaf on the front of the boat.
That's so good.
Yeah. Varys just sits there dangling his legs for the whole thing. But yeah, you put like a leaf on the front of it to basically see it return safely home. I can see the people of Salvage doing that. You know, in the way that, pardon me, the only thing I can think of is a funeral. You know, the way that you pick up like leaves on the way to a casket.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's dark. And then like place it on, and people just know to do that.
Yes.
I can imagine the people of Salvage knowing to do that, and then like the folks from out of town kind of following suit. Like this is something, and so is it the bow of the ship?
Yes.
We'll have like a, I don't know, maybe even just flowers or something, just like greenery, stuff that resembles land.
I imagine like there's like this like very nice sort of wreath made out of summer twigs and branches that has been assembled for you, that's being hung on the prow of the ship where a figurehead would be. I don't think the ship has a figurehead because it's tiny.
Yet.
Yeah.
But you've had that, and there's like little leaves and stuff, leaf confetti available. And in Luca, I imagine that you've come down with Seeker Elsa and are making small talk with Varys and Brina and Malachi as they are assembling around.
Yes.
It's a lot of like very friendly chatter. Every now and then, like somebody from the docks will say congratulations to Willow in passing. But
I'm trying
like
to stay in the boat best I can.
good luck.
Willis polished their wheel for the third time.
Yeah.
Just to kind of avoid the building crowds outside.
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly people are like strewn along the docks. It's like you decided to have your ship naming ceremony at a festival that just so happens to be on the same day.
Okay.
And also your birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I will say around about this time, like just as you're sort of getting ready, Jaylee arrives a little bit puffed, flustered, and out of breath. She says, "Am I late? Sorry, I got lost walking down the village."
Dan's gonna like break away from whatever group they're hanging with to meet her.
Yeah. She's wearing like this pretty floral long skirt and like a button-up blouse with short puff sleeves, and looks like a little bit more done up. It's not quite as fancy and austere as the formal wear she was wearing to the gallery, but she looks dressed up nicely. But there is a little bit of smudge of clay on the side of her elbow that she's clearly missed. And she's holding like a little bouquet of like some flowers because she didn't really know what else to bring, and she sort of says, "Hi, I'm not too late. I haven't missed anything, right?"
No, we're just getting started. Come on. En's gonna like
Oh,
pat her
good.
shoulder and
This is a lot bigger than I
Right.
was expecting.
Yeah, you and me both.
Oh,
Eh,
I think Willow's probably standing with Luca at
Yeah.
this stage, just sort of like they've preened themselves enough. I forgot they don't
Yeah.
need to just polish the ship. They're also probably out here like making
Polishing
little
Willow.
twists of their hair. Yeah, like making sure that their ears are perfectly pointy at the top and then fluffy at the bottom, like all the nice little things. You know? Making sure that little flick on front of their head is like perfectly placed.
yeah.
They're getting pedantic
Yeah.
about it just because they're nervous. But yeah,
As
yeah. So
En's
now they're standing outside with Luca.
as En's kind of bringing Jaylee over, they're going on about like, you know how small towns are once they catch a whiff of a party. It's no holds barred.
oh. Well, So, Jaylee comes down with you and is like, "Oh, hi. I think I remember you two from the auction. You were Coster's co-workers?"
You can
'Cause I was a Warforged at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So she only recognizes Luca.
Have you met Willow?
Oh, no. Hi, I'm Jaylee Hazelwood.
This is the one who owns the boat that I'll be taking all the way off into the ocean.
And then maybe back onto land if we're feeling, funny.
Yeah. I tend to like the land, so I hope to return.
Willow's going to extend their hand to Jaylee. Nice to meet you.
She shakes your hand and then says, I suppose I should be offering these to you. Hands you the bouquet of little flowers. It's like a small, nice bouquet. I think it's probably like chrysanthemums or something like that.
Oh, how cute.
Nothing too ostentatious, but it is nice. I wasn't sure what really to bring.
You didn't need to bring anything, but thank you.
Yeah, so these are the two I'm going to be sailing with. You met Luca. And now you've met Willow.
That's great. Jaylee is like obviously like a little bit shy and is sticking close to N.
Yeah, and is also
Oh,
sticking
yeah.
close to her and doing their best to like be the bridge to connect these two.
Damn it. Willow, you must perceive.
I'm just perceiving if she's okay and like what's up.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
is she okay? Is she? All
She's
good?
just a little shy.
Okay. Same
She's
as
just
how
a
she
little
was at the
shy.
gallery. Then
Yeah.
she just seems breathless. It
Yeah.
doesn't want to remark on like you seem like you're out of breath because that's she'll run home because that's awkward. But yeah, I think as long as she seems okay and comfortable with N. Yeah.
I think like she warms up a little more as people get to chatting. I think Seeker Elsa asks her about her art and such, and that sort of gets her to like light up and talk more
yeah.
confidently, since that's the one thing she knows about.
Yeah, and I can
Uh,
see N mentioning to Elsa about Jaylee's like floral pieces, and that really like getting the conversation going between them.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Mm.
for sure.
Luca too, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Willow's a bit
Uh,
distracted, but they will try and talk with her a little about like the process, I guess.
Can I make an insight check on Willow to see how they feel? To see if I can tell what they're feeling. Or can I just tell what they're feeling?
They seem a little nervous, I think, is the main thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just like, oh, this is a lot more people than I was expecting.
Hmm.
I think at some point, like, you also get like greeted by Malachi and Roz, who is just kind of in the background, like, hey. And Malachi is like, hi. So I don't have any family in Regalport anymore. They've all wandered off, but I did bring a friend along. Well, more like my ex-babysitter.
So much is happening right now.
Yeah.
The way my skin just went taut when you said X, and then I was like, okay,
Yeah.
babysitter. Like I was like,
Wait.
oh. Babysitter. Wait, does that mean Willow's going to
Lucas starts counting
imagine
on
the
his
way
fingers.
that sorry, Malachi approaches, and then like Luca and I turn around, and Luca sees Malachi and then sees Roz and has like a little face moment.
Mhm. The Excalibur face.
A little blanching of like,
Yeah.
oh no.
You. I think Willow says to Malachi, "You have a baby?"
No, she used to babysit me.
How old are you?
I'm like 30. Malachi is like a wizened little goblin man. He looks
Oh.
quite
How- what's the-
elderly.
Pardon me. How what's their life expectancy?
About 30 to 40 years for goblins usually.
Oh,
Gnomes live to be about 500,
right.
but they stay old very long.
What's the life expectancy of Malachi? Oh, he's knocking on death's door, baby. He's right there.
This might be his last party, so you better make it good.
He's one of those, Malachi has the energy of one of those old people who is like bizarrely lively.
Mm.
Why are all of my friends before you guys old people?
Wow, gee, I wonder.
Okay, stop it. All right, we know the answer. That was a rhetorical question.
Because you're lonely?
Anyway. Thanks, Luca.
Oh,
Cheers. Anyway, damn, because I avoid having any friends that would have anything in common with me. Anyway,
You can have common things with old people.
shout out to Kat actually, but she was a fleeting fancy.
And
Um,
fancy she was.
Yeah, it's quite. Okay, so yeah, Malachi, after saying that, I think Willow doesn't know how to respond to it other than remembering that, yeah, he's an old man. And I think
Yeah.
Willow would just kind of, after a time, sort of
I will say,
slowly nod.
by contrast, Roz looks like she's early 20s.
That's what I mean. It's a very, I see Luca like looking from the two of them like, what?
Yeah, pretty much. Some math has
Uh.
happened here that he does not understand.
Yeah. I think Willow's just gonna kind of let it, just gonna shake their head
Just-
a little and say, thanks for coming. You too.
Sure thing, I brought a gift.
Oh, okay.
Roz
thank
is just like, I'm just here for the free food.
you. Okay. What's the gift? I feel like Malachi looks odd, not behind his counter, like smaller
Yeah.
and weirder looking than
Yeah.
ever before.
Yeah, it's like you usually see him perched up on something, so seeing him on actual ground level is a little bizarre.
Yeah.
But Malachi proudly presents the little cart and flower pot. Got you something from the store.
I'm gonna do a check.
Yeah, make an Arcana
What-
check. Otherwise, Malachi will tell you about it. It is a pot of awakening.
What does that do?
Does it awaken?
It awakens a plant. As in, it animates it.
Oh!
Okay, Willow knows
getting-
that is what it is, and now they look at him kind of questioningly.
Getting a little shop of horrors in here. I'm so excited.
Basically, if you plant an ordinary shrub or bush in the pot and let it grow for 30 days, the shrub magically transforms into an awakened shrub, which means that it can ambulate freely.
Does Luca know
Can
what
what?
this is?
I don't know if you do.
I'm sorry, did you say it can ambulate?
Yes, it can
What
walk.
does that mean?
It can
what-
walk.
Like a little fish dog pot.
It's literally just like it creates a walking plant that can move around and like not really talk but listen. You can have a living potted plant that breaks its own pot and just walks around and lives on your ship.
Does it photosynthesize?
Yeah.
Okay.
In
I
all
think
other
Willow's
ways, apart from the fact that it can walk, it is a plant.
And you can eat from it? Like if we plant a garden kind of thing?
Yeah.
And it won't feel that. It's not sentient. It just walks.
I mean, no.
Plants can
Question
feel
is-
pain.
I don't want the question mark next to the no. Is it sentient before we start eating it?
It is sentient.
Ah.
It is sentient, but like you can harvest fruit from it and stuff like that. And
Right.
that's
Like-
normal.
Yep.
Snacking on your friend's hair.
The fruit's just gonna fall off otherwise. It's
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, okay. No, it takes Willow a moment because they're like, why? And then after thinking, they're like, oh. And then it's like sort of a quiet face journey before they arrive on like oh, this is very handy.
Yeah, I figured you'd like it since it's for a boat. Figured
Yeah.
it'd be good for some potted plants, maybe.
Plants, yes, and fruits and such when we're on the high seas. Perfect. No one's getting sick aboard the Redacted.
Yeah.
Thank you, Malachi.
You're welcome. I think also as the sun starts setting, Seeker Turg arrives on a wagon containing a something covered in tarp, a long box covered in tarp in the back.
wow.
Oh my god!
He's really pulling up this way.
Oh. Man. I recently saw a video of a casket flying
Flying
down
down
some
the
stairs.
stairs.
Yes! That's all I'm thinking of right now.
Oh no!
Oh man.
Just don't toss it in the ocean, please.
No,
That
no,
will
never.
kill Nereus.
No.
Oh my gosh! So it is Nereus.
Yes.
Just in case he brought, I don't know.
Yeah.
What
Everybody,
did
give
he
me a
confuse Jericho?
perception
Long-ass
check.
one. Perception. I think Willow has knelt down, by the way, to shake Malachi's hand for his
Yeah.
gift, like with gratitude.
I feel like I would know what it is.
It's
He's my friend.
yeah. It's
But you didn't see
it
him.
takes Luca just like 1 second longer than it should of like, oh, Seeker Turg's here. Where's Seeker Nereus? Torg greets Luca and Seeker Elsa. He is familiar with both of you. Says that the Bloodsword champion will be along once the sun sets. It is clear that he has tried to disguise the so very obviously a coffin under the tarp in the back of this wagon, but as like it's super obviously a coffin if you look at it for more than like 10 seconds.
I love the idea of like people of Salvage walking past, like, why is there a coffin? Like the teens, like the 3 teens
Yeah.
looking over and being like, what?
Yeah.
Someone makes eye contact with the teens, and then the coffin and the teens, and then points like, "You're next."
But yeah. I think everybody is now here.
Mm-hmm.
Bruno here?
The green leaves are also here, yeah?
Yeah, of
Bruno's
course
always
Bruno is
here.
here. Bruno has been here the whole
He
time.
was just over there.
Yeah.
Has he said anything to me today? I don't think so. Eh?
You've been
'cause Willow's
avoiding him.
Yeah.
You've been actively avoiding him. Like, I think you've at most caught a glance of him and then, like, scampered off and he's been like, okay. You've been receiving your guests, let's say.
Yeah. Keep spotting him from
Rena
a
is
distance,
here.
but it doesn't feel like the right time to,
Yeah.
talk.
Rena is here. Celia is here.
Yeah, Ed's probably greeted them personally by now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luca as
Yeah.
well.
Yes. I imagine you've all done the rounds of, like, saying hello to each other and
Yeah.
Yeah.
chatting and so on. Some people have like drifted off to grab like a couple snacks.
Yeah. I think En's probably specifically pointed out to Jaylee, like, hey, I baked this about the loaves that they've set out on like one of the tables.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like a little band, like a few people have picked up musical instruments and are just playing little ditties and stuff. There's a few kids who are like playing games that have been set up. They're like pretty sort of rinky-dink little game stalls. There's like a pin the tail on the dragon. There's
Luke could
ring
play
toss.
at least one of those.
For sure. Do you wanna do that roll right now?
Yeah! What do I roll?
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so there's the ring toss, there's 3 strikes or less, and then there's pin the tail on the dragon.
Honestly, Luca would play probably all of them, so...
Okay. Well, which one do you play before the ceremony and the rest you can play after?
Ring toss.
Okay. It's 1 copper piece per attempt. You get 3 rings to toss onto a peg and possibly win a prize.
Yes.
So you have to make a dexterity check.
Ooh. Ooh. Kill him.
There are
Ooh.
3. You have to make 3 dexterity checks. So,
Nope.
nope.
Yeah,
Hey.
you're the last one.
Okay, so like, the first 2 rings you try and toss, and they just like bounce off the pegs to the side. But you do manage to get 1 ring on a red peg, which is worth 3 points.
Oh.
For 4 points and under, you win a piece of candy.
Yes.
It's just like a little caramel. They have like a big bowl of them. So even if the kids aren't particularly good at it, they still get
They
something
still get
out of it.
treats. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Luca seems very happy with his piece of candy. So...
Nice.
Yeah. And we'll probably be trying that later, but they're focusing on other things for now. They just like
Yeah.
out of the corner of their eye will see Luca like
Yeah, I imagine like
Take Jaylee.
and you're doing a lot of like networking and introducing people
yeah.
to each other, like introducing Jaylee to Brina
Oh,
and Brina
absolutely.
to Seeker Elsa, and
And has done this whole thing with Brina and Jaylee where basically and it's like, and if you're ever in trouble, call on this one. Would trust you with my life, kind of thing. Just
Yeah, yes,
dramatic little shit.
So- yeah,
There's so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I imagine Eleanor and her husband are talking to like Isabella and her husband and kids, and like a lot of the kids are just like running around, like playing along the piers.
One's gonna fall in, I hope.
Oh, I'm sure somebody has already fallen into the water and then been like fished back out. It's no big deal.
A catch of the week.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, is a new
Hoisted
baby
out
here?
by the
The new baby!
Oh, absolutely.
Aw.
New baby.
Absolutely. New baby is here being thoroughly swaddled and cooed over by various
Oh,
people.
baby.
Now, would N making faces at that baby make it cry or make it laugh? Like
I think the
changeling
baby's
stretchy
just
faces.
sleepy.
Aw.
It's late.
He's
It's
late.
nap
He's
time.
late for baby.
Yeah. But yeah, I think pretty much everybody is here, so if you want to get the ceremony underway, you should
I
be
guess I
ready.
must. I do imagine that Willow's nerves have kind of ebbed a little as they like talk to everyone. It's not like
Mhm,
the attention is all on them, so it's like fine.
mhm.
And as they're seeing a lot of familiar faces, people they like, it's nice to have around. There's like a weight in their stomach when they see, I think the kids running around kind of like makes them I can't think of it. Sickened by nostalgia in a way that they try to sort of not let themselves ignore, but then also not sink under. That's like a key thing. There's something about the village buzz that is familiar in a way that makes them comfortable and sad at the same time. But all of that is at least not nerves until the moment that they realize, like, it's go time. I have to start the ceremony. I think they're gonna give like a little look to Luca and N, sort of indicating that it's time to start.
And gives a little nod.
Feel sick. One more skim through their journal to make sure that all the instances of the scrapbucket are gone. Little eye contact with Varys, and probably the last glance towards Bruno. I think Bruno. Can Bruno be next to the boat?
Oh yeah.
Can I talk to him now?
Yeah. I think Bruno rocks up and is it's like about that time, eh?
Yep. You don't have any etchings of the scrapbucket in your wallet or anything, do you?
No.
Good. Then I think all's in order.
All right. You give the signal, and Varys rings the little ship spell that you have to draw attention.
How many people are here?
Like most of Salvage. But not all of them are directly paying attention. I would say in the crowd, there's maybe like a few hundred, but...
100? Cool.
Yeah. But there's also like plenty of people still milling around, still playing music. It's not... Like, yes, people are paying attention. Most of the people that are, like, paying actual attention are your coworkers from the docks.
Cool. Willow will straighten up and probably quieter than they need to. Yep. Hello. Do they look? Are they paying attention? Like closer attention? Okay.
I mean, I imagine
Probably,
there's like a little bit of background chatter, but...
Yeah. Actually, can I do a quick perception check across the crowd? Just check like everyone's here that needs to be here. I did look from in there, but I'll just perceive.
Sure.
See if whose faces are about. Yeah, that's about right.
Seems like most of them are here. There's like a lot of people.
Can I see if I
Right,
can
I'm
see
not gonna look too much.
the High Prince? Is he
You can certainly
milling
try.
about?
Luca's looking like, oh no, he's not here. He's gonna miss the main thing.
Damn it!
There's so many people, he must be lost in the crowd.
Hmm.
He's supposed to
He must have
blend
gotten lost on the way here, like Jaylee. Oh no. Okay, I think Willow's going to look, I'm going to take it that their 11 perception also kind of means like they look out and then they sort of look down, probably focusing on the little bundle of like the wreath, and I think they would have put Jaylee's flowers on the bow as well, and whoever else brought like nice flowers, it's been placed there. Varys's sparkling wine is probably on the inside of the ship behind the bow itself. Yeah, okay, so Willow will start. Thank you first and foremost for coming to the boat renaming ceremony. I'm not sure if all of you are familiar with the formalities of such an event. But you will be now. Willow's going to look at Varys. Is Varys nearby?
Yeah. He's right next to you, I think.
Oh, okay. Varys, no. I guess no, it's more Willow's going to gesture out at N and Luca. And kind of like sort of a hurried little get over here. Willow was planning to say more, and then as soon as they got up here, they're like, nope! And so they're going to like, and hey!
And perks and like gives a little like gesture to Jaylee, like kind of be right back, maybe. Like gestures and then shrugs and then goes.
I think there's like a smattering of applause as like Jaylee and Brina and Celia start clapping. That sort of ripples out and is a little more fanfare.
Oh,
Wait, Willow's... Oh my god, Willow's going to dip back to Varys. Should I tell them what this is about? Like the whole Devourer thing? Do they need to know that? Context would help, yes?
I'm sure they'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm not doing the typical poem like N speaking something completely different. I don't like the original one.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Yeah, it'll do. It'll do. They'll know. They'll know by the end of it.
That's the gesture of it.
Welcoming N. Oh, Willow looks at N like they just realized that you might not be using that name.
And gives a shrug, like, Brina knows me as Audrey, Jaylee knows me as Caster, Jaylee knows that Brina now knows me as Audrey. It's like, whatever, because I think at the introduction between Brina and Jaylee, and explained that, so at this point, and having multiple names is kind of whatever. You have to be used to that if you're gonna know me, so at this point, I think it's cool.
Willow does the Will Smith arms towards you, and then immediately, like, like flinches, and then like scampers back and gives you space with like the most apologetic look.
And just kind of standing there casually watching Willow fucking glitch out around them. Just like head following Willow as they scamper.
Luca will stand on the other side of Willow. I imagine Varys is on one side of them to like give them support. They seem like they need it.
Willow's going to, without explaining, kind of just shove the sparkling wine into Luca's hand and give him a gesture of that'll be important soon. Just use a special tool that will help us.
Yeah, so Anne like probably takes the book out of their pocket and like gestures at it, at Willow with it, kind of a bit like this now, yes? Just to double check that they've read the room.
Really
All right. And I think Anne would have asked beforehand, should I be reading out like the title and author or just start straight into the poem? What would be the preference here?
I feel like it. Yeah, you should probably give credit.
Give credit? Yeah, that's kind of my inclination. If I had been left to my devices, but I thought I'd extend the question.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
All right, yep, so Anne will step up. Ode to a Sailing Ship by Tarek Elham. Lurching toward the fearful deep, where whirling winds are sure to reap, a wreck of wood and tattered sheets, devoured by the dark. Will she pay the keeper's price, or hoist against the headwinds, slice through the tall and cresting waves of ice, and find her way to dawn? Haul away, the endless blue, batten hatches, cry the crew, windward bound, but sailing true, aboard these toppling seas. And if she finds her way to port, mast bent and bruised, just rest assured, an evening spent and nothing more, horizon calls her home.
Applause! People cheer.
And closes the book, takes a step back, glances towards Willow, like, is that good?
Willow takes a deep breath, clearly hearing you say it, has like taken a load off their shoulders, and I feel like they are visibly more calm because it made it like real. This is happening.
Yeah.
And that was good. And it was a good read too. So Willow's like,
was.
okay, it's good. Oh, nice. Okay, good. Willow nods at N to stand aside, and then we'll gesture to Luca and quietly tell him that it's time to pop the cork on that bottle and pour it from the east side of the boat to the west side of the boat. And I imagine it goes kind of like around the boat.
Right.
Would it go on the boat or around it, like into the sea? Around it, because you're feeding the devourer, I think, is the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
If sun splashes on the deck, that's not a big deal.
Yeah, you can sort of...
Shot for me, shot for him.
Don't use the whole thing. Willow's going to say, like, don't turn it over. Like, it's just pour one out.
Okay. Luca does as he's told.
Yeah. And while you do that, Willow's going to hand the plaque to Varys. I think they would have handed it to him, I guess, while off the boat. This can be the last thing we strike from it.
Yes.
To actually strike it. Like, Willow would like him to strike the Scrapbucket name off the plaque.
Okay. Varys raises a tool. This is like brass, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I think he's borrowed a chisel off you and strikes across it and says, "No longer does the ship bear the name." Tosses it out into the sea.
Okay. I think Willow actually might have asked to be the one to toss it into the sea.
Oh,
after
sorry.
he's etched it. Willow grabs his arm. Wait a minute. No, I'm kidding. I imagine Willow kind of had the hand of like they'll be handed it back so they can just toss it into the sea.
Yes. Okay. In that case,
Yeah.
He announced it and hands it back to you to be tossed into the bay.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. At this stage, Scrapbucket has been purged from the ship altogether. The plaque has been cast into the sea, leaving it to be worn away by the devourer himself. It's sunk. I think Willow would just watch to make sure it's sunk and then take a deep breath and return to the front of the ship. And so, with the Scrapbucket at the bottom of the sea, so to speak, it's up to me to reveal the new name. Willow sort of gestures to the crowd. They are still struggling a bit with words, but they look a bit more comfortable. And so I think they will say, if you'd like to gather around, and then sort of reach over the side of their boat, making sure that people are within eyeshot of what is a pretty small plaque for a ship. And then... Oh, no. No, sorry. I can't announce the plaque yet. Sorry, I'm thinking a mile a minute. Can't be announced until the end of the blessing. Scratch that. Can I literally scratch that from the...
Yes.
It'll be gather round. And Willow also gather round and fill your glass, I think is what Willow will say.
Okay.
And now they are gesturing to Luca again to fill some of the flutes, or the goblets, whatever I had.
Yeah. Luca starts filling out the goblets. I think there's like an extra bottle being passed around for everybody else in the crowd. People are prepared.
Yeah, I brought another champagne from Regalport, so I'll give that one to the crowd for someone to hand out.
I imagine
Willow's...
Bruno's taking care of that.
Yeah.
They know what
with that.
the deal is, right?
Yeah.
The characters know what they're doing, even if the...
Well, I meant like the dock workers and stuff have probably been through ship namings before, so they probably know
no, I learned it from them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. You know what? I think actually Willow might say something. They'll send Luca back to pour the champagne out in a similar way, but now from the opposite direction, from east to west. And I imagine around the other side of the boat would be significant.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell
And
he's taking care, I think. Just so you know.
No, I think Willow chose him specifically for this because he would take a lot of care with it.
Yeah.
And if the Devourer is going to see any one of us doing this, it should be Luca with his earnestness. Like, he's very good at this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think Willow's just going to go to the front of the ship and say, if I may, introduce my new vessel, Ephemeral Chaos.
A cheer goes up.
Yeah, and
Willow will
clapping as well.
Willow will raise their glass, and I think they pour a little onto the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and then toast to the sky, and then drink.
Yeah.
Mm.
Everyone else in the crowd, you hear like this echoing chorus of Ephemeral Chaos!
Mhm.
As all call out the name of the new ship and toast and drink.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, a little
There
bit
are
more.
whoops and cheers.
Mm. I think Willow basks in that a little bit. It kind of like sets all their fur on edge a little bit to hear them respond in that way. It sounds better echoed back than how they said it, and that's something that like affects them more than knowing that it's renamed.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing them gladly echo it is a thrill. And so I think despite their kind of humble entrance into it and honestly rather like very nervous energy about all of it, that's followed by a bit of a grin and like a hop in their step as they now continue on. Get Luca to pour 4 glasses specifically, and say, but even chaos must ask for the wind's blessing. And now they're going to start picking people. They'll ask Mr. Saltbeard,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Greenleaf, Seeker Elsa, please.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Madani.
All right. They all step up, and Brina sort of mutters to you, Willow, like, I've never been to one of these before, so you're gonna have to tell me what to do.
Oh, it's okay. Willow hands each of them a glass,
Mm-hmm.
and positions them on each cardinal direction of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bruno obviously knows his way around. I don't know if Seeker Elsa does.
She's familiar enough. She like needs a few cues, but Bruno and Varys definitely are well versed in this.
Yeah, and Willow kind of.
Brina has no idea what's going on.
I loved it. What was her face when I called her out?
She's like, oh,
Oh,
Curb
God.
your expectations, guy.
Yeah. Well, they're positioned on each, and Varys obviously knows his way around this.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think he would know the specific words to appease the winds.
Yes.
But basically, Willow is inviting them each to repeat a line about safe passage from the winds of all directions, and then take a sip and cast the rest of their glass into the sea as well.
All right. So, who's which direction?
First of all, I think Willow's keeping us 3 in the middle. I'll say Elsa north, Brina west, Bruno east, and Varys, I suppose, would be south by that metric.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, put Bruno at the stern. So,
Okay.
or wherever south is on this, I imagine the ship would be facing north.
Okay.
Yeah, so put Bruno at south and Varys at east.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, from south, clockwise around the compass, they call out, starting with Bruno, for the south wind to spare them from the scourge of its scalding breath. The wild wind of the west. The frigid winds of the north. And the mighty winds of the east. Each speak their piece. Rena sort of stumbling over the words. Until you, like, whisper the correct adjective in her ear.
And, like, messages Brina.
Willow's standing beside and hears Brina pause, elbows, and says, where was she facing again? West?
I believe so.
Yeah. It was like, wild.
Passes that along.
Each toasts and tosses the glassful of drink into the sea. Having appeased the winds. Applause!
Yay!
Cheers!
Now we won't get bowled over, hopefully.
Maybe.
Well. No, none of those winds were bright though.
No, we don't need those.
Winds
And
don't
I
have
think now,
illumination.
like, okay, I think now, like, having everyone aboard the ship, you know, like Willow will start shaking their hands and saying their thanks, and
Yeah.
clearly, I think they linger a bit with Bruno.
Mm-hmm.
What's his? I'm gonna insight check him.
Sure.
Please. Oh.
He seems proud. Smiling. You've done well, Pup.
With a-
Strange name, but you've always been a strange one.
It's not over yet. Willow says, kind of patting him, but like he can stay on the boat for this part. I think Willow feels a bit braver with him on the boat.
Mhm.
And now Willow will gesture again for everyone to fill their glasses. It's going to be, what, the third, fourth toast?
Yeah, everybody's
So it should
very
be
happily taking another round.
So Willow, a bit more confident now, will approach the front of the boat and say, I'll keep this short. In a few short days, we'll be sailing from Salvage. But to me, today isn't just about setting sail, nor about our small crew. It's all of you. It's the ship and the seas and, you know, the winds and the stars and everybody who has willed us onto this vessel or even allowed the vessel to be here. It sort of gestures at Bruno. You've all had your part. Played your part, rather, in the journey ahead. And so it is only right that we spend today celebrating not just ephemeral chaos, but all of you. So, please drink, please eat, please enjoy one another's company, and raise a glass to Salvage and his neighbors, to being legends of the Thunder Sea, and to ephemeral chaos, unknowable until the moment it is.
3 cheers for Salvage! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! 3 cheers for the ephemeral chaos! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hooray! And like everybody breaks out into cheers and applause as the ceremony is concluded.
Is there something N can do before we completely
Yeah.
finish up the final ceremony? If Willow seems to be done and doesn't want to interrupt, but if Willow seems like all happy that they're done, they've finished the ceremony, and is going to approach them while we're still like kind of on
As
display.
the applause is like dying down and people are babbling, ready to like go partake in food and music and so on.
Yeah.
And I think Willow's standing at the front of their boat, like so you know that they're standing at the front of their boat, kind of smiling and like just absorbing it.
Yeah. And it's not drawing a lot of attention to it, but they are approaching Willow like at the front of the ship.
Am I present?
You're welcome to be present, Luca.
Yeah.
I can imagine you're talking to Elsa too, because I didn't kick her off the boat after she did our blessing.
Yeah,
I imagine Brina scampering off immediately. But yeah,
I think
I wish you would have stayed there awkwardly talk to Varys.
Yeah, so and we'll strut on over to Willow. Be like, well, I think in honor of the Ephemeral Chaos's new captain, you should probably have one of these. And it's gonna pull out a very thick leather tome and hand it to you.
Ooh.
And you can tell, we'll make an Arcana check. We'll make an Arcana check
Yeah.
on this book.
Yeah.
Ooh.
DC isn't
Oh, you know
high.
what I actually... Okay, quick thing I forgot to mention. Willow was meant to reveal the name, the pluck, at the time of when I said the final toast. So just pretend that happened, and I have the bandana over my shoulder.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, so Arcana check on this?
Yeah.
Yes. It is a enduring tome, or an enduring book.
What does that
So
entail?
it has been magically and alchemically treated so that it cannot be damaged by water or fire, and it does not age.
Oh my gosh.
Archival quality book.
Len's handing this to you, Willow.
Willow looks very sparkly-eyed, sparkly-lensed about it. They're touched. I think Willow's just gonna say, "How'd you know?"
No, I had a hunch.
I'm gonna open it.
Yeah, if you open it to the first few pages, like, I don't know, the first, like, pinch of pages. I don't know an exact page count. But the first few pages have already been written in. There are little sketches accompanying the passages. Most of them are by N, but some of them you can tell are Luca's. And it's pretty easy to tell from a little skim that this is a record of the adventures we've had since N and Willow met at the lighthouse.
What kind of sketches are in there?
Like, there's a sketch of the lighthouse. There's probably, like, another sketch of the Scarlet Prince and Cognot and stuff like that. Locations, people.
Oh my god.
Sarah can tell me what Luca might have doodled in there.
A fish, like the fish that went into Willow's pockets that one time. I think his drawings are a little more personal than factual.
I think Willow does a quick skim. They realize it's like the beginning of a travel log.
Mm-hmm.
And after they get like a sudden, like, it catches in their chest, and they have to quickly close the book, and they look up in the way that you know that has just almost brought them to tears.
Aw. I think Ed's just smiling, acting very casual, but it's that kind of warm, knowing smile. Like, they know this hit the mark, and they're happy for you.
That hit the mark. Willow's holding it like so preciously. Well, now they're closed. They've held it shut right now, like it's it's a violent thing. It's held in front of them.
That's
like,
fair. That's fair.
absolutely not right now. But
I refuse to feel at this moment. I've had enough today.
but I think they'll hold it across their chest and with their other arm give Anne a hug.
Aw.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'll
And
extend an arm to
you-
hug you back. A pat on the
Yeah.
back.
yeah, Willow will clap you on the back too, and then also like to Luca.
I don't know if he's here. Let's say.
I thought you said he was.
Yeah.
He
but-
was there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you said
okay.
it at the beginning. You can't take it back
You
now.
said it.
Oh, no,
fool.
like, I was like, I don't know if he wants to intrude on this nice moment for them. Yeah.
You're involved
You're
too,
part of it,
idiot.
idiot.
You're part of it, idiot.
If
Get in
you're,
here.
if you're standing slightly at bay, Willow will come get you. But you wrote in the book, so I'm sure you would want to be there
Yeah, you're part of it.
Yeah.
to see how I react to your fish drawings.
Very
Yeah.
detailed.
You're not getting out of this one.
It's a one-armed hug with the book like held between them.
Yeah.
Willow's clearly like I think even after they release the hug, it's not like they release the book. They just hold it now with both arms,
Yeah.
like hugging it. I think after a moment they'll realize they're hugging it though and say, "Should go put the log aboard the boat, ship,
Yeah.
boat."
Go find its
boat."
home.
Aren't we all? Willow's going to
And punches
sort
you
of
in the arm as
skip
you
off.
pass by.
Yeah,
Oh.
and they'll
Luca
place
gives
it so
Anne a little
proudly next to the
punch.
wheel.
And flies off the boat.
Into the ocean directly, Wile E. Coyote style.
And probably jostles like a bit more than Luca intended, likely, just because of our vast difference in strength. But
Yeah.
and does not fly off the boat.
The book gets put like in a little proud place overhead of
Yeah.
Willow's bed, which honestly they might have converted for this event specifically. Like they might have taken off the mattress part so that it's just a,
Just a bench.
oh, it can be a chair. Yeah, it would be like a bench
Sofa.
for now. Sofa. Actually, you know what? I can kind of see the bed being like an IKEA bed where it has like a mattress on top, but it's a bookshelf underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry,
Wow,
that's besides
Murphy
it's so
bed
Willow to be like,
situation.
I am so overwhelmed by feelings about this book. Let us think about the modular shape of my bedroom.
Yep.
Yeah. No, yeah, they're so chuffed about this. And I think they have to take a moment to themselves like they did it. The ship
They
is
did it.
renamed. I've announced that we're leaving.
Mhm. Yeah, I imagine there's like a lot of milling about and like repeated congratulations. The music is playing on the docks. People are feasting. There's like cheers. There's just like this
Mm-mm.
warm festival atmosphere. Everybody make me a perception check.
Willow has made an announcement, by the way, for people to stay close if they'd like to partake in a few maiden voyages. It'd be one maiden voyage, but like, it's small.
Rides.
So we're gonna have to draw a cap.
Yeah.
Excitedly telling people about, doing a loop
Yeah.
around Salvage.
And is absolutely, and of course, yeah. Before we get to that, I just am gonna say, and is probably, definitely inviting Jaylee to take a ride on the boat with them later.
Are we?
You should. So you ought. For all
Whenever-
your percepts.
Whenever Willow.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we already did.
It's already done. You're the
Yep.
you're the only one.
Oh, we did?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh! So yeah, no, I'm very glad that I was going to tell you to go bring Jaylee.
Yeah, I think Luca and like Willow makes an announcement of like, "Hey, who wants to come for a ride? Only a few people allowed at a time." And like there are some volunteers. Obviously, like I imagine the Greenleaf family is eager to go aboard. Seeker Elsa is likely also there. Seeker Torg will stay at bay to keep an eye on his
Box.
wagon.
Definitely not a coffin box.
I hope Grace could hear all that.
Just like it's the muffled caramel
Muffled
Dawson type thing.
And
I'm
just,
happy
like-
he's partying.
Through the slightest crack in the coffin, there's the disco lights.
The RGB.
Yeah.
RGC.
But yeah, as you are announcing this, Willow, you spot a fisherman in the crowd that you hadn't seen before.
Actually, Willow saw this fisherman at the memorial, right?
You hadn't seen before in Salvage. You had seen before in Regalport at the memorial service, and also up close and personal that one time. And like you go like stiff with realization. And Varys glances over and then also sees this man. And heads over and is like, you, what are you doing here? I wasn't expecting to see you. And the man says, Greenleaf. What, you weren't expecting your old pal Roger to show up and follow you around? Thought I'd take a look at this fine ship and its new crew. Hello, what are you doing?
Hi, I'm over here now.
You're on the other side of the room.
I think so. The way I imagined it was like Willow's kind of leaning over the edge of their boat, being like, "Come on, come on!" And then like probably the Greenleaves, I imagine, like the kids, are very excited to go on the like a spin around the bay at sunset.
Yeah.
So like Willow's kind of just like they're back on their cool stuff. They're back on their cool shit now that they got the formalities out the way. It's all good from here. Sailing, that's what I'm good at.
Yeah.
Chatting, having a little bevy with and like a pie from Eka. Excellent. There's broves and made more broves. Fantastic. What a wonderful time. Like, and then just like the ears are like pin up, tail straight out. It's just pardon my Ondarian, but why the fuck is he here?
Do they say that out loud?
And then like when Varys goes and no, they're not saying anything. They've just gone stiff as a board. They're going to like poor probably like whoever was talking to them, Jake was probably talking to them, and Willow's just like completely zoned him out.
Yeah.
And they're watching Varys now talk to him. Does my nat 20 give me anything else about Ryger right now? His facial expression, his vibes, how he responds to this conversation? Can I hear a bit of their conversation?
I'm sure you can hear a bit of their conversation. Yeah, Roger was a little bird told him that there would be a ship renaming ceremony, and he decided to take an evening off and see what all the fuss was about.
How long has he been here?
He's certainly been here long enough to see the whole ceremony.
Hey.
What else can I see from his facial expression? And does he look at me at all? Do we lock eyes? I feel like the nat 20 is am I just looking at him, or have we made eye contact?
Good question. Let's see. Let me pull up his character sheet.
Oh my god.
The character sheet titled Roger, naturally.
Definitely not the High Prince.
No, why would he be here?
Yeah, he did not roll a nat 20, but he meets your skill check of 25. So I think you do have a moment of...
Oh god, we're dealing with a Damon over here.
That's why we're not fighting him yet.
Yet?
He's
Oh my
keen-eyed.
He could duel me on the boat. That'd be so sexy.
Let's not do that. We just cleaned it, and like,
You
yeah, we don't need to.
We just cleaned it. Please no fights backstage. We just cleaned that.
He is a very keen-eyed man.
This Roger.
So yes, he does make brief eye contact with you and does a little nod. Smile.
I think Willow does the most strained grit teeth, big old grin, smile back to him. That is, it's not even. I wouldn't even call it a smile, but it is like
That's a grimace.
it's a grimace.
A rictus of panic.
Yeah.
I think, Willow, you are able at least to temporarily get away as the first round of passengers eager to take a spin on the newly dubbed Ephemeral Chaos have boarded.
Or should, like, does he give off indications that he's going to leave soon?
No.
Is he comfortably chatting with Varys? I kind of imagine that, like, in the absence of Jake, like, I think, is his name Jake or Jacob? Jake. I keep getting that wrong. I feel like he started getting ignored by Willow, and so he just went to Varys. I think the Green Leaf
Varys
back
is
in
off
line.
the ship at the moment.
No, that's what I mean. Back to Varys. Like, I feel like go find your uncle or something. Because otherwise, I feel like I've just skipped over the Greenleaf kids because they were waiting to come aboard.
No, I
They can
imagine
come aboard,
that.
but we won't say all that.
I think what has happened is that Jake talked to you briefly, assumed everything was okay, moved on to like hang out with his wife and kids who are like
Makes sense.
and like lift them up so that they can look over the railing and down at the water.
Aw.
They're just like sort of standing there. I think Brina and Celia are aboard the ship. I think Jaylee has also probably been persuaded by N to take one of the first round trips.
Yeah.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Bruno is not aboard the ship at the moment. Varys is not aboard the ship at the moment.
Yes.
Varys is busy talking to somebody.
Can I try and make distant eye contact with Varys? Can I just try and lock eyes?
Yeah?
I'm not gonna get anything out of it. The insight check was to see what his, like, did you invite him? That kind of thing, but I feel like I can tell. Oh no, I heard him. I
Yeah.
heard him.
You heard
Me
his
too, so I just need to
surprise.
know how he's handling that.
Yeah. You don't know what the intent is, but like there's some friendly chatter going on, and I think at this point, like Varys and quote unquote Roger are moving aside through the crowd.
Okay, well, I'm going to say I'm hoping that my nat 20 means that I know that he's not leaving soon. He doesn't have the carriage
Nope.
of somebody that's about to leave.
Nope.
He
He looks like he will probably take a spin on the ship. I think that's one of the things you overheard. But Varys
How'd
is
he
like,
say?
let's have the kids go on first.
Varys' life flashing before his eyes. He's like, the elemental! Rhaegar's gonna see the elemental! There are things about my boat that even Varys doesn't know, that Varys hasn't seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Didn't nat 20, but still reached 25. Looking ass is going to find out all of my secrets just by looking at me, but that's not the point. I'm going to bring some people aboard. How many people can I have aboard? Like 7 at a time?
Yeah, so I think the Greenleaf
don't
family
count
is 4.
Mhm.
Or 3, considering 2 kids add up to half
One
a person
adult.
each.
Yeah.
You have Jaylee 5, Brina and Celia 6, 7.
I mean,
That's
N's
it.
Can N come?
N's gonna.
I would
And-
bring N along with
Yeah.
Jaylee.
It's okay. I don't
And
weigh
then-
anything.
Yeah, and is part of crew. It's passengers.
Oh, 7 passengers. I thought it was 7 all up. I thought it was 7 including passengers.
Oh, it might be that, but I think you're
Mm.
fine.
We got.
I mean,
some
I
of
don't-
our
I'm not
kids-
taking
don't weigh that much.
I don't have to be
It's-
on this voyage, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
Luca will
and
go with
Luca,
all. Yeah, I think
Luca
people-
weighs at least 2 kids, so.
If not 3 or 4.
Yes,
Yeah.
in a trench coat.
Okay. I think so. Willow, like, just jostles free the burden of Roger and will focus on their guests.
Mhm.
And everyone ready? And we'll probably march over now to their wheel, and you're free to do
Unmoor
the
the
sailing
boat.
stuff that you have
Yeah.
known.
Tie my
Come to
adequate
know.
knots.
Tie your adequate knots, little N, right in front of Jaylee.
Yeah.
Right in front of Jaylee.
Mhm. I've already read a poem in front of her today, showed her I bake, introduced her to the detective, what fucking else? This is like small potatoes by comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all you need to do is gift her jewelry. Oh wait, you did already. Is she
That's-
wearing that today?
Yeah. Let's say yes. She is wearing the flower pin.
Aww. Anna's probably told her that she looks nice.
Oh,
Anyway,
you're so cute.
tie my fucking
nice.
nuts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tie the knot? Did you say you're tying the knot?
I'm tying your knots. Get to work before I hang you with them.
Do you ever feel someone's blush like emanate through a microphone? Okay. Anyway.
Margaret's here. You deal with that. I'll deal with this.
Why? It's my birthday. Anyway. All right. Yeah. We'll bring you all aboard. It's not the first time. Oh, this is the first time the Ephemeral Chaos is sailing.
Yeah.
My little new plate glinting in the light. I will say the other one was brass. This new one is sort of more the same gold as Gild's mask.
Nice.
Similar to Willow's glasses. It's a more shiny gold.
You've leafed it.
Catches the light real nice.
Yeah. Polished it up.
Yeah, it's cooler shape too. I haven't designed it yet, but I imagine it's got like the little, I don't know what they're called, like scalloped edges in parts.
Yes.
Just on
Decorative.
the edges. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bit more decorative since I spent all my morning on it.
Yep.
Yeah. That's it.
Cool.
First trip. And do your thing.
Yeah. Willow, roll a let's say just intelligence water vehicles check. You should have that on your character sheet.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes, it is easy for you to smoothly sail your newly dubbed ship for a round around the harbor. Takes like 15 or so minutes, just like a nice leisurely sail in and around before you are moored again and passengers are able to disembark.
Are they? Do Ann and JD want to talk? I don't. What do they do? What do Brina and Celia do?
I imagine like the trip is just like simple talking, standing on the deck, enjoying the wind and the seas. If you want to roll a quick little insight check on Jaylee and N, when N isn't busy assisting you with
I think
the
I'll roll
sailing.
an insight. Yeah, I'll roll an insight check on everybody, just to see how they're feeling.
You have to learn. You have to know.
As they pass through my field of vision around the front of the ship. Insight.
Yeah.
Well then.
Yeah, everybody seems to be having a very good time. Jaylee seems a little high strung. But you're
she's
not.
still nervous.
Yeah, you. Looking closer, it's more like she gets more antsy when N is around. Not in like a oh god, oh fuck kind of way. Not in a bad way. Just more of like a tippy tappy, fidgety nervousness. Butterflies in the stomach kind of nervousness.
Yeah, and you can see N with like the charm on a little bit when they're standing like notably close to Jaylee and like making gestures and talking with a smile and like essentially probably just talking about the journey ahead and some adventures from before and like these are some guys I've like done some jobs with before, some monster hunting jobs, and I'll show you
Yeah.
around the ship later when it's not so crowded, and it's just like
Yeah, it's like N is kind of laying it on a little bit thick, and boy is Jaylee swooning for it almost. It's not as blatant, but it's like it takes you maybe all of. By the end of the trip around, you're like, oh, she for sure has a crush on N.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm gonna say I rolled that perception to see. Do I notice any pink in her cheeks? Any like red ears? Anything about Jaylee?
She
When
does
N is
keep
doing
like fidgeting with like a lock of her bangs and tucking it behind her ear, and then like pulling it
Oh.
forward and tucking it behind her ear.
Yeah.
Oh
Generally
my
being a
God.
little bit fidgety.
it's
You see,
definitely. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just think you see the moments that Willow's watching you both just on the front of the boat while I, turn us around. And you see the squint of, and then the Willow head tilt of, oh. As I realize what's happening.
Yeah.
Jaylee doing that is one thing. The question of whether you know that and are still laying it on very, very thick, regardless,
I'll say
is another thing.
I don't know if I'd describe it as laying on thick so much as N's definitely putting their best foot forward and they're being very friendly. That would be the thing. They're not putting up a
That one.
facade. They're not, trying to play into something specifically. They're just, they seem very comfortable in their friendliness with Jaylee.
But that's what Jaylee
Oh.
likes.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like it is laying
No,
it on thick
okay,
by being
okay,
a nice
no.
person.
Yeah, okay, we'll be very specific with the words because I know that N has like their things about what it means to lay it on thick for N is different. It's a whole nother dude, like a whole nother persona.
It's a
Laying
whole
it on
nother
thick
thing.
means stuff, guys. Yeah. So, yeah, so okay, I'll redact whatever. Willow's seeing you doing whatever it is that you're doing. You're being charming, whether that is like on purpose or not.
Yeah.
With purpose, and has their like.
What I will say
Yeah.
is that considering what Willow can see of Jaylee's like fidgeting and stuff and what Willow knows of N, there is seldom little chance N has not picked up on these signals. There's so little chance with how good N is at reading
Yeah.
people that I think Willow could come to the
Yeah.
conclusion that N knows what's going on.
And is aware.
I'm going to do one more insight check. This time specifically towards N.
Oh my god, son.
Does N? What does N feel about that? If that's the case, what can I infer from the way that you're acting in response? If you know that she has a crush on you,
I don't know.
that's a thing.
It's a thing, and N seems comfortable about it. I think that's the best you can pick up from like looking at it. N is comfortable, and is aware, and N is comfortable. N's not.
You're not changing.
Yeah. N is acting like the friendliest version of themselves. They're not putting up
N is-
something to specifically kind of like lure Jaylee. It's just like I'm
Yeah.
comfortable with this,
N is
and I'm N.
being the kind version of themselves, not acting.
Yeah.
Can I put it that way?
Yeah.
N is being N to Jaylee.
Yeah. Best foot forward.
Despite that, best foot forward.
Best N forward.
Yes. Caster even.
Sorry, I already introduced you to everyone as N.
That's fine.
That's fascinating. Fascinating. Excellent. I will
I'm sure it
cast
has
Decide
come
on-
up. I'm sure it has come up in conversation that N is a changeling at this point.
Yeah.
Caster is a changeling,
Yeah.
so they have multiple names.
Yeah, like I said, it's
Uh,
something that N probably brought up, especially when introducing Jaylee to Brina.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't clear
That
before.
was- Yes. Sorry. I keep getting crosstalk.
What's your insight
That was just. That was for Brina and Celia to see how they're doing.
They seem to be just chatting.
Okay.
I think they're probably in conversation with Jake and Zabella,
Oh, nice.
little kids. It's just comfortable chatter.
Cute. You know what? Let's make this a little bit. I think for my first little lap around,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, when the boat's kind of like at the far end of the bay,
Mhm.
Let's see. I think I'm gonna go out and let me know if this would work. I would like to cast pyrotechnics,
Mhm.
but I would like to ask N to provide the fire.
Oh, yeah. Easy enough.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to sort of join you guys out on deck, ask how everyone's going. Willow's clearly a lot more comfortable now that we're out on sea without the big audience.
Mhm.
And I'm going to pull N aside. This is after I've noticed you, by the way.
Mhm. I've noticed
So,
the chronology of this sequence of events. Anyway, continue.
Yes. Okay. Willow is going to tap on you and say, "Could I borrow some?" And make the little fire hand gesture.
Sure, where do you want it?
Right about there. Willow, you see Willow pull out their crossbow and aim it at the sky at a place. I don't know if that's how you can do it, but if not, then you just set something on fire and throw it.
Mhm.
But if you can Eldritch Blast into the air, then I guess I'm implying that I'm going to shoot at it,
Mhm.
like the way that we do target practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and can do that.
Yeah. So within 60 feet.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And shakes out their hand a bit and makes the little clench that they do with their fingers before they light it up and
Yeah.
send a blast into the air.
Okay. And then Willow, what do you do?
Willow readies their crossbow. I think this one is the one that uses the little flintlock.
Mhm.
They pull it back, and when it snaps forward, little magic beam comes out of it and hits N's fireball, not fireball,
Mhm.
fire,
Mhm.
and explodes with fireworks.
Yay!
Hmm.
There's a big firework display that floats above the ephemeral chaos as you are sailing back in to be moored.
Mhm.
Everybody oohs and ahs. There's like a cheer up from the docks. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I give
Pardon
N a
me?
little, perhaps a little knowing smile, and look around, and then go back to the wheel to take us back.
Like, and gives you a bit of like a scrutinizing squint. Like, what was that about?
I don't know.
Like,
Maybe
I don't know. Goes back to Jaylee. I think they kind of like have a moment. They like stop at Jaylee to like resume conversation or talk about the fireworks, and they have a moment like, wait.
Yeah, with the like sparkles of the fireworks falling around the ship, looking cool as shit.
Yeah, don't think I didn't imagine like Jaylee off to the side, watching N under the fireworks, staring up at the fireworks, and all the like glittery like show on their face. And they're not looking at Jaylee, but Jaylee's looking at them. That kind of fucking framing.
Right?
So
Like reflecting on her glasses. You're reflecting off her glasses with the sparkle of the fireworks above. Damn, it's almost like I set this up for you exactly. You're
Right.
welcome. We're heading back.
Mm-hmm.
asshole.
Wow.
Willow's chuffs. And then they come back into the dock and they're like, what the hell's Rager's here? well.
Yeah, your turn now.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I should make a perception check for him again.
No way! I would have done that far out at sea. What do you have? Eagle eyes? You better not. Sorry, I'm just reacting to like
He
an
did
unknown.
not.
Okay, good.
He was not close enough to see it. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I waited until I was out in sea.
But now.
My good lord.
I set the DC high.
Thanks, boss.
I'm reasonable. Everybody has to play by the same rules.
yes, yes.
He's just good. Anyway, we return to the docks. People are able to disembark. Brina and Celia and everybody, thank you personally for the ride around town. Jaylee, thanks N as well. And do you offer her your hand as she steps off the boat
Yes.
to like help her down? Yeah.
It is cute.
So you know what's funny? I was imagining Willow helping everyone off, but it gets to Jaylee and Willow just doesn't.
I just imagine like N standing across from Willow as people are like getting off, and then just kind of realizes in the moment, and we look at each other, we exchange a glance, and N's like still staring at you, but like lifts their hand and then just switches back on to smiling at Jaylee and helping her down. After giving you a bit of a death glare across the distance between us.
Willow looks so smug. It's this
They're
smirking
so
at you.
annoying.
They're the worst.
Yeah, I imagine like
The
N
worst
like helps
person.
Jaylee up and like walks with her a bit down the path, but like looks over her shoulder as we're passing Willow with like this look of like I'm gonna get you later.
Willow twinkly waves at you as you leave.
Yeah. Well, who's the next batch you get to go aboard?
I feel like Eka, Tor, Eleanor,
Yeah.
you know, I think that
Families.
they would want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
A
the
bunch
kids
of-
would be impatient to get on the boat.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
there are several rounds of like people coming aboard. The chaos.
Yeah. I do think we'll do another little fireworks display for the kids, like the ones that have the kids aboard.
Yeah.
This time without N. I guess
Yeah.
I'll just like use something else on fire.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like just literally you toss like a bit of a torch or something.
Yeah,
up in the
I
air
actually
and-
imagine. I actually imagine that the weapon itself would be the kind of thing where it like sets off the fire
Yeah.
pellet first, and then
Yeah.
like the magic comes after and explodes it. But for the
Yeah.
sake of like having a group thing, is why Willow would
Yeah.
probably like. You know what? I think
Yeah.
I feel like Eka has a really good arm. Can Willow like give
Yeah.
her something to toss into the sky?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. She
Well,
seems
I'll
like she'd
roll
do
for
an
Eka.
awesome baseball throw. Hopefully it doesn't. If it drops, then I just won't shoot at it.
Oh, honey.
Oh,
She falls into the sea.
I think Eka goes to toss it and then like fumbles and it just sort of like slops
bit of
into the
wake.
water and everybody has a big hearty laugh about
Oh my
it.
God.
So the next one do better.
Yeah,
There we go.
there we go. Oh, and we
It's
love
just the like the slight misbalance.
Mhm. It's so funny. Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty straightforward. Tor can sit like, wherever Tor
Yeah.
wants to sit
Yeah.
and chatter. Probably talking to Willow.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine there's a lot of like chattering about like what animals. Have you ever seen a dolphin? Sort of.
I do imagine Willow's behind the wheel and everyone's usually outside, but Tor is standing next to Willow, like, have you ever seen a dolphin? And Willow's like, don't you want to be outside? Yes, I've seen a dolphin.
Yeah. I think Toa is telling you like excitedly about marine mammals.
You know what? Willow will talk back to her about other marine animals, and I think, I don't know if you can tell me like a fun one that Willow would tell her about that she might not have heard of.
Oh.
Even if it's a monster.
Yeah. I think like you tell her about like manta rays and how they are cousins to sharks that got very, very flat.
Really? Mim is like, oh.
Yeah, rays are related to sharks. They are
Oh wait, I know this. That's why they look like them in the face.
yeah.
yeah.
They're similar cartilaginous fish.
Yeah, Willow 100% says that to Tor. And she's like 8 and it's like cartilaginous.
Yeah.
Cool. So
They
have a
can get
conversation
very,
with
very
Tor.
big, and some of them are very, very small. And they
Mhm.
flap around.
And I think Willow would like gesture like the length of the boat, like bigger.
Yeah.
Willow's
Yeah.
Hmm.
Giant ray.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, I think, having done like 2 tours, maybe a third one with some like of your other dock co-workers, the sun has now sufficiently set where Turg has moved out of the way with the wagon, and Nereus is able to emerge. They don't obviously like just let the vampire out of the coffin right in front of everybody in the town square. Yeah. That's a bit much.
Mm-hmm.
But Nereus does emerge and greet Luca, and you all is honored to be in attendance.
Did he say that to me?
I think he says it to all of you collectively.
Ah, okay. Willow sort of nods. They look like they're about to bow for some reason, but they don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Just got like a
he
very...
has that aura.
Yeah, Willow kind of tips their head in a way like, I don't know what I'm doing. Very honored to have you, Seeker. Luca, did you want to fetch... Oh, sorry, he's still talking.
No, it's okay.
What was he saying?
He was going to reply, I am glad to be invited and able to attend. It looks like a fine sailing vessel.
Of course, would you like a closer look?
He nods and goes to inspect.
Does he go with Willow? Please say yes. They go together.
I was going to let him go ahead.
Huh?
I'd sort of like loom over him, but I will tell Luca to go get Seeker Elsa.
Yeah.
Seeker Torg is still here. He can come.
All of the Seekers in attendance.
Seeker sailing.
Yeah.
I will say
is
Bruno
Bruno
has
free
not.
now?
Yeah, Bruno is free.
Oh.
He has not gone on the ship yet.
Yeah, no, I was going to say this is kind of like the elders' boat.
Okay.
They would have gone first, but the kids are like,
excitable and
yeah.
They've got a bedtime.
And the
easily
Nereus was in the
bored.
box. Yeah. So, no, I think Willow's going to also call for Bruno while you collect the other Seekers. And is there anyone else in town that's like kind of senior that you'd put on this?
Perhaps Grayson.
Grayson.
Maybe some of the other like older dock workers, some of the older smiths and carpenters and such.
Does Malachi count as an elder?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to the other elderly 30-year-olds.
Oh yeah.
You ever been 30 and a grandpa? Hell yeah. I think. I mean, I don't treat him like I respect him. No offense, but like, I do think at least one of the blacksmiths, like probably the eldest one, the leader of the folks, like the guy that I asked about the Bieshk or sword.
Yeah.
Or the lady even. I don't know who it is.
You get a couple of the smiths to come and see your handiwork.
Yeah, they can all come aboard.
I think when you invite Bruno, he's like, "Oh, I'm sure others will want to have a go first."
I'm gonna insight check him.
Oh, honey.
It's 5.
he
Did you roll
rolled a 4.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Oh yes.
For some reason, Bruno doesn't seem that eager to be aboard the ship while it's sailing.
I think Willow pauses on him and kind of furrows their brows. In that insistent way of I've noticed something. What's up?
Bruno blusters right past it and says, "Here, why don't you lot have a go? Take a spin on the newly dubbed ship." just try and get somebody else to take his place for a second for this next round. You're gonna have to do. I think you're gonna have to push harder.
I feel like Bruno's kind of done that thing where he's like put the ship at capacity by inviting someone else in his place.
Yeah.
So he's delegated himself to, I'll talk to you later. I know where you live. Fine, he'll get a solo lap then. Willow decides defiantly and goes back to host the rest of the ship.
He's just like me for real.
What, afraid of water?
Yes. Afraid of birds.
That's not it.
Oh.
That's not it.
Well,
Oh, dear.
until I have
Well, you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You don't know
Yeah,
what it
we
is.
don't know what
But
it is.
Bruno,
Has
but
free
Bruno
time.
is avoiding stepping aboard the ship while it's sailing. It was fine while it was docked.
Oh my god. No, don't talk about it. Don't worry, I'm behind the ship. I feel like Willow's like now ruminating on that. For this particular ride, they're not like talking much to anybody. They're just like mulling over what that was. While
I
you
think,
guys all are good.
I think the Seekers are talking calmly. Nereus is standing at bay. Very sort of straight-backed, arms folded behind his lower back and sort of just enjoying the sea breeze on his face in the twilight.
Seem happy. Nostalgia.
Yeah. Well, make an insight check, you know?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
yes.
There we go.
Yeah. Nereus seems to be fondly reminiscing and enjoying the sensation of being on a ship,
Good.
as it has been quite some time. I think Seeker, Elsa, and Torg are just chatting amongst each other, like sort of daily doctor things, like cleric business, and then Grayson sometimes joins in now and then about like how he sometimes takes care of the clinic when Seeker Elsa is in need of some assistance, you know, friendly chatter. Yeah. I think when next you dock, Varys is there again with his friend. Dear Roger says, "Would you mind letting a couple of souled sailors have a spin aboard the deck?" Mighty fine
Really?
vessel you have here.
Willow gives him a flat kind of face of like, you're really gonna pretend you're not the High Prince right now. And then a very like polite, clearly, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the kind of smile that Willow does when it's like a, it's more challenging. That's not really, I can't think of how to describe it, pardon me, but it's not like a hee hee smile. It's like a
Cheeky.
customer service with some spice smile.
Mm-hmm.
I think Willow's going to, after a silence, a notable silence, will say, "By all means, Varys, I wasn't aware that you were bringing a friend."
Varys starts and the man speaks up. "Oh, it wasn't Varys, it was he nods over to Luca. That fine young gentleman who passed along the invitation."
In Willow's mind, there is an inner mind theater of them whipping out the crossbow, vortex warping Luca
Into the water?
deep blue sea. Yes. You just see that like flash past their mind, a little twitch in their lip. I'm going to do the quickest little insight check of why would Luca do that? Fucking beats me.
You literally cannot think right now.
Yep.
What the hell is going on here? This is outrageous.
This is outrageous. First of all, how did Luca convince him to come here? Surely he's busy. He just made a big announcement. He's expecting freaking the entire principalities to show up in less than a week.
Mm-hmm.
What in the hell is happening? Anyway, before Willie lets their thoughts get carried away with him, I think they're going to step aside and, I suppose, let the two onto their ship. And I think, notably this time, they don't let others aboard. I'm going to say that, like, I feel like a lot of people are like off eating or playing games, so like, the line has died down, and that's why like Roger and Varys approached.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, I don't know what to do about Luca, but I think whatever. Willow's watching Roger to see what he looks at. There is like the sideways slow walk beside him, clearly looking at him.
Mm-hmm.
To see what he's looking at.
Keep an eye on that fellow.
He is admiring the ship.
Good.
With great care. So I'm gonna roll in front of the board now for dear Ryger, now that you are up close and personal. As you take a private spin with your former captain and his former captain. And I think he'll also do an insight check on you, Willow.
Okay.
Pretty
All right.
decent.
Okay. I will do a default deception check. I think I'm. I'm not trying though. So is it persuasion or deception? I'm not really trying at all. I'm letting him know that I'm watching him. And I think the main thing I want to insight about him is what he knows, what he's looking at.
Yeah, I think I would like you to contest this either with deception or persuasion, your choice of like how much of the old you is showing through at this moment.
Honestly, I wasn't sure until I started pretty much at the onset of that smile I can't quite place. I'm like, yeah, I think Willow's a bit obvious.
Oh.
So which one's that rolling then?
Which one has the
I
lower
think that would
modifier?
be they're both the
They're
same.
both the same.
Oh, okay.
I think in that case it would be persuasion. Or you can just willingly fail.
I could. Okay.
Or if you're being persuasive, then you can give a certain impression of yourself.
I don't actually know that I'm lying to him though.
No.
Could you
Well, this
could they still
persuasion
willingly
is
fail?
just
Yeah,
like
that's why it's a persuasion check and not a deception check.
because
Yeah. That's right. I'm trying to think
Because-
of what I would persuade him of other than the truth.
I guess don't mess with me, or like I'm
Don't start
I'm
shit
fiercely
tonight.
independent.
I think part of the persuasion then is this might be counterproductive. I think part of the persuasion is almost confirming parts of them.
Okay.
In part, because like Willow's not hiding anything. Well, they're hiding some things. They're literally hiding a crossbow behind them in their, a state-of-the-art little handheld magic device. And they're hiding an elemental, and they're hiding other stuff that I haven't said out loud on stream yet. But yeah, I do think maybe if the persuasion could be along the lines of Willow persuading Ryger that they are not intimidated by him.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good persuasion check to make.
Yeah.
And you succeed at that. Cool.
Handsome.
You are not afraid to make eye contact with him. And boy, are there some pretty meaningful moments of eye contact.
I honestly think that while Willow might have... did I set off? I feel like I haven't set off yet. Before we set off, I might actually ask. Say, you know your way around this vessel. Would you like to steer? To Varys, actually.
Varys sort of does a little, and Ryger claps him on the shoulder. Be a good man. And Varys is like, if you're sure.
I sense
does so.
I sense that Varys was ready to put himself as a buffer between us.
Yes.
But I'm going... I mean, he's free to talk if he wanted, but I feel like part of that like intense eye contact and the 20 persuasion is very like, okay, you're here for something. Let's get it. Let's you're here to talk? Let's talk. You're here to find out things? Let's find out things then. You know?
Yeah. So
you've waited oh so patiently.
He sure has.
I think Willow is then going to, as Varys gets behind the wheel, Willow will gesture to Roger. Say, do you have any experience with sailing?
Oh, I've sailed most of my life.
Perhaps we could help Varys then. Willow's gesturing to Roger to help them with the sails. It's probably not much that needs to be adjusted, but I think after the past few, the wind has surely changed by now.
Oh yes, yeah. There's you just make a minor adjustment to the sails. Yeah, he is a highly competent sailor.
Willow's going to... I'm going to insight him.
Sure.
I do want to know what he was looking at. I guess perception might have worked too, but yeah, that's fine. Hey, we match.
He seems to just be admiring the vessel. It's a fine craft you have here.
One of a kind.
I hear you patched it up yourself. Tell me, where did you source the swordwood from?
Willow smirks and kind of looks back at Salvage. Passing ship. They didn't miss it.
Apparently not. I'm sure you're wondering why I'm here.
I'm sure you're about to tell me.
Well, if you're not going to ask, I think I'll just enjoy the ride.
Hi, Prince. What is it that you'd like to know?
He sort of pauses with an amused smile. How did you end up here?
Well, ephemeral chaos, I believe. Willow gestures kind of to that point in the ocean that they are sailed up to. If you mean salvage, well, I floated in like driftwood. Like all things to salvage.
And how long would you say you've been here?
Well, it sort of tilts their head at him. Do you have suspicions?
I can hazard a guess.
Well, Amuse me.
What I want to know is, was it before or after Thronehold?
Before.
He nods. Well then. That just raises more questions, doesn't it?
No better time to ask them.
I believe we have a mutual acquaintance. He'll be heading into town with his crew in, 3 days' time.
Willow takes a deep breath, but then continues. Don't believe that was a question.
What I want to know is, what are you planning to do next?
I think Willow folds their arms, they look forward, and they're kind of just searching the... I think it's at the point where Varys is like turning.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing like a wide arc around the
Yeah.
sea. I think Willow's looking out at the dark, probably then up at the sky. The stars out.
Yeah.
Thinking multiple things cross their mind, things that they are not going to tell him. Merildine, specifically.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they will say, well, I've no intentions of ruining your convocation. So I will make myself scarce and head back to the mainland. Hiding under the shield of the Sea Dragon flag, recently registered. Thank you very much. And hope to gain enough distance that the ephemeral chaos is not lightning struck out of the sea.
Oh. I'm sure you're aware I can keep a secret quite well.
Apparently, fisherman.
Well. I'm well known around these parts enough that it would be unbelievable. Fisherman's tall tale. You know the type. And our good friend Varys has certainly vouched for you. He's quite protective of you lot.
Willow gave a little smirk at the, the type about the fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Willow's mind, they responded, I am the type. When they first boarded the Kraken Slayer, actually, they were pretending to be a dock worker, despite clearly being a saboteur, so they... Certainly not to the same degree, but nevertheless, not a foreign concept. And at the mention of Varys, Willow is sort of thinking of him probably like white-knuckled steering the ship, wondering what conversation they're having. Are they standing? I can imagine they circled back around to the front of the ship, so like Varys might be an eye shot if we turn around. I think we're facing our back to him though. I'm going to look around at Varys and check on him. What's he doing?
Varys is there. He is watching quite closely. Enough that so you see when Ryger makes a gesture to keep circling. He's not done with this conversation. Varys hesitates and then continues.
Ryger starts the carnival ride over again. The roller coaster rolls in, and he's like, once more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Another time, and round the block again.
That's fine. Varys can just take a wider berth of the next
Yep.
one. Give them time.
Yep. Exactly.
We'll probably ask now. What's your interest in it? In those answers? In me?
Well, you might have gone to ground for quite some time, but your reputation does precede you. I've been aboard the Storm Chaser. As much as your successors have done fine work, yours is pretty distinctly recognizable. But I imagine that the reason you haven't approached me with an offer of your own speaks to the fact that you've got other priorities on your plate, so to speak. Am I right?
Willow gives him a little eyebrow raised side glance. Clearly.
Well, how about a favor for a favor?
Willow looks at him. They weren't kind of expecting that. The mention of the Storm Chaser made them quiet, almost. A bit of the bravado kind of slipped off. But now they're looking at him.
I'll keep your secret, provided that our mutual friend can learn some of yours. I have an interest in, let's say, wresting away the control of a certain technology from a certain house, and your let's say former crewmates are helping me with that. But I'm sure you know a thing or two that would be useful to us.
I will say,
Or is this the kind of bargain that would rather be done as a frank conversation below decks, captain to captain?
Ooh, sorry, I just need to take a moment. Whew. Okay, Willow, I will say, in response to Ryger being like my favor in exchange for secrets, you help Varys. Was it Varys?
Mm-hmm.
Willow already was.
Yeah.
So in the same way,
Ryger
as,
is sharp, but he's not omnipotent.
yeah, no,
or
that's
omniscient.
so. That's why Willow. I don't think Willow could hold it back. They gave a little smirk. They would have had to look away to keep listening. But then his mention of Willow's former crewmates helping does kind of alight a new question. And now Ryger is asking basically to go below deck.
Riker is asking, like, would we prefer to have a longer conversation below deck?
About what? Like, about...
Everything. He's offering the opportunity of basically like a private convo with just him and you. About whatever you like. As long as he gets to ask whatever he likes.
Okay. Huh. How long will that take? This was Mim asking. What's he implying? Another lap? A wider
He's
lap?
implying, like, at the end of the evening, he'll meet up
Oh, damn.
and
Oh, damn.
talk until there is no more to be said.
Holy shoot. That's a pretty significant opportunity.
You are
What do I need from
Sure
him?
is.
What do I need from him specifically? I want to know his plans, but like I already know a fair bit of his plans. But I don't know. Of course, I don't know.
You could
his
get it.
wider
You could get
plans.
it straight from him. You could ask
yeah,
him
no, this
what his
seems like an
intentions
opportunity.
were. You
Not
could
to
ask him
admit.
so much. He knows so many things.
You could ask him what
Honestly-
he would do if he found out about a traitor among his men.
I wouldn't do that because I'm not going to out Miraldine.
That's a good point.
And I
This is
don't
why
trust
you're
myself
the captain.
Yeah. I think the fact is that is a pretty major offer.
It sure is.
Even if I don't take him up on it, he has a lot of wisdoms about the seas. I could ask him about what's the place called again? Trebaz Sinara? Sinara?
Mhm.
Could ask him about Lazar's treasure, could ask him where he came from, all of my curiosities about him. It is important to know details of the convocation. All of this stuff is like kind of running through Willow's mind. He has given an offer that is silly to refuse, honestly. And do I have any reason to refuse that? Other than the fact that he sees back, but he's already seen back, and he doesn't pose a threat to me at the moment. The only threat that I could pose to him is if I say something about Miraldine by accident, or kind of reveal too much about that. But I mean, hey. Sorry, just kind of running through my million thoughts.
I mean,
No,
he
that's fair.
literally, he basically just said he's going to keep your secret. So
yeah, like, he has no reason as yet to break it because I'm more useful to him as an ally than an enemy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
He is currently
It's-
weighing alliances.
yeah, no, I feel
and
it.
you can clearly feel it and clearly see it. And he's like, well, I owe you a favor because you saved Varys, who is very useful to me. But the Whisperers are also very useful to me. So, give me a reason to weigh you as more useful than the Whisperers.
Well, I know how to sabotage Whisper ships, don't I? I didn't say
No.
that to him.
Mm-hmm.
What were you gonna say?
No, but you know things that he is interested in, and he knows things that you are very curious about.
I'll ask him one question first, because I think through all of that there is one little like piece that will kind of pull Willow's attention back. A question to ask before they agree or disagree. So,
Mhm.
private meeting with the High Prince. What the fuck? Willow will ask, "Who's helping?"
With what?
Of the Whisperers, you said some of my former crew.
Oh, well. Prince Brightwind has promised his brightest tinkerers and engineers to help with the project.
You see clearly Willow's kind of going back through their memory of who that would be. They're thinking,
Mhm.
obviously, well, no, the ship would still need an artificer on board, so maybe not their apprentice. possibly someone else, but possibly the apprentice. It'll be the best person to send. It is a good opportunity. And
Yep.
maintenance maintains on the ship. They didn't even need an artificer to begin with. It was just good to have Willow there.
Yes.
And especially because they ended up serving different purposes. Willow's just thinking of the makeup of the ship and who's involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm?
I mean, it has been a certain amount of years later, so there are probably new people that you are not aware of.
Of course. That's why they're thinking of who they might know.
But it is quite likely that your apprentice and other people will be there as well.
I think Willow gives a little less of a smirk, more of a smile.
Mm-hmm.
Fades again. They're gonna look away. I don't think they really want to be seen fondly reminiscing in front of Ryga. I will say, for the camera, it's a little bit of pride that they're involved in this. It's a good thing to be involved in. It's a cool thing to be involved in. Maybe like good is kind of besides the point. It's cool. I think Willow takes a deep breath now, and well, I suppose if I have more questions, then that can wait for below deck. May as well.
Sounds good.
Ryga does another
Yeah.
gesture to Varys. Head back.
Yeah, I think Willow's going to mention we should help him. Willow starts back towards Varys, just knowing that he's probably standing there like panicking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah.
Ryga says I'll take care of the sails.
He can stay outside. I can walk into
Yeah.
Varys.
Yeah, Varys is like,
What do you say to you?
are you alright?
I'm executed at dawn.
Varys like does a double take and is like,
Calm down.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. It's fine.
Varys pesters you a little to like actually tell him what he said.
I think Willow's a bit reeling about it.
We don't have to like roleplay this
Yeah.
out, but do you tell
No.
him?
Yeah, no, I did. I'll tell him that Ryga's gonna come see the below deck after, and we'll talk about it. Varys can come if he wants. He can
Yeah.
hang out with the others.
He
Can stay
probably
upstairs.
will. He probably will.
For reasons, I'm assuming he will. But yeah, yeah. The others can come. Might be a good crew experience to meet the High Prince. Might as well.
Okay. Cool.
Wait, us?
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Yes, you're my crew.
Really? Oh, I thought it was just gonna be
Shouldn't
the
have
two
said
of
that.
you.
Well, you guys don't have to be in the room.
Yeah, but like,
But I mean, if you want. I just,
I'm
the
just
only
so
reason I would
flattered.
put you in the room is the same reason that you would. That you can be in the boat, though. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'll tell you guys to stay back after.
Cool.
But yeah, we'll drop them off and Frogger can
Yeah.
play with sailors.
I
or
think in the
whatever it is that he's
meantime,
doing.
Luca and Anne are playing carnival games with
Yes.
with your
Jaylee.
friends.
Yeah.
I think Torga's down for like a couple of rounds of carnival games.
Yes.
Aww.
Yes.
Neray is a little bit severe, so he's maybe not as down to clown as the others, but certainly everybody else is having a great old time.
Yep.
Good. Yes. Fantastic.
So, there are the games I mentioned: the ring toss, 3 strikes or less, pin the tail of the dragon. Who wants to do what first?
Is the 3 strikes or less a strength game?
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna point at it and then point at that and say that you'll be good at that.
No, I think you're talking about yourself. And Ed's gonna corral Jaylee over to the ring toss.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Go.
No.
Win
Okay,
something for your girlfriend.
Yeah, make
Shut the
a
fuck You want to make a perception check while I do this, Luca? You stupid fucking bitch.
Yes, I do.
Insight check. Insight check.
check.
Insight.
Oh yeah.
That'll do
Yes, so much. My eyes are open.
Yeah, you made that quip at N. You saw N touch Jaylee's shoulder and Jaylee like have the butterflies and N like corral. Corral is such a violent word, but just like gently move Jaylee away in a different
Yeah.
direction by the shoulder.
Guide her towards the ring toss.
Yeah. And that whole thing happened. N's comfort versus Jaylee's very obvious butterflies.
Yep.
See what's happening here.
Okay. Yeah.
Gonna fucking know.
And if you would like to make 3 dexterity checks, I believe you can use sleight of hand if you are proficient in it.
I will.
To and also pay a copper piece for your ring toss prize.
Absolutely. Give it a go.
Wow.
Hey!
The difference.
Ooh, you get 2 rings on a red peg and almost managed to get all 3 on the same peg, but the last one slips onto a yellow peg. So you have a total of 8 points.
Oh.
Nice.
And you are able, if you like, to win a painted fishing lure. Or any of the lower tier prizes, which are like 4 points and under, you win candy. 5 points, you win a like little wooden toy, like a spinning top or a whistle or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
8 points is a painted fishing lure. And for the grand prize of 10 points, which means you have to get all 3 on the same color peg. All 3 on a red peg. You win a toy boat.
Oh, that is cute.
Yeah.
But since N doesn't have 10 points, I can't like play again and
Nope.
add up my points. I'd have to get them all in one shot. Yeah, that's how the game works. Yeah.
Yep.
I find the fishing lure so funny because all I can think of is the fishing lure I got at the Grand Auction Hall to trade around
Yeah.
by Damon.
Yep.
So I feel like that's calling to N.
You win a fishing lure.
Yeah.
Cool.
And ships it off to Jaylee.
Oh, of course you do.
She claps.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think she'll give it a go as well, but she is not nearly as proficient as you are.
Yeah. That's fair. She does pottery.
Yeah.
Oh, good start, honey.
Mhm.
Oh, better.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh.
She manages to get 1 on a yellow peg for 3 points, but the other 2 miss. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh well. In the meantime, Luca, are you doing 3 strikes or less?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this game is that there is a stump with nails set into it and a hammer. If you can drive a nail straight down in 3 strikes or less, you win a free drink.
Okay, I'm good at that.
So, you have to roll to attack the nail with strength. You can
Yep.
use your proficiency bonus with this. And then roll athletics.
Okay.
And you have
How
to
do I
hit
use my
a combined
proficiency bonus?
total. Yes. So, I believe it is +3 plus your strength.
Okay. 16.
Okay. Hit and athletics, please.
19.
Okay. One more. That's your first hit. Solid nail on the head.
So roll athletics or strength first?
Roll strength and then athletics.
Okay. Oh, 13.
It's a 12. Okay.
12, sorry.
12 total.
Oh, how dare you roll 20 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one more.
Miss.
Straight up miss.
Yeah. Roll athletics though.
Oh.
Okay. You have had your 3 strikes. Afraid
Oh.
this one is not successful.
Oh.
2 copper pieces, please, for your
Yes,
attempt.
sir.
The person in charge says, want to try again? You had a really good start. You could probably do it.
Can I convince Deacon Arrays to do it?
Oh my god. Make a persuasion check.
He has like vampire strength, right?
Yeah.
Damn it. What if-
The rest is like, no thank you.
Okay. What about Secret Torg? I'll let him do it. He could.
Yeah,
he
Secret
could
Torg will
Yeah.
do it. Let me see if I can. Let me pull up what is your. What are your stats? Okay, well, Torg has a +1 to this.
drink. Oh.
Let's go, Torg.
So that would be a total of +3.
Oh no.
Nope. That's for the athletics. The +3 is for the attack, and then +1 is for the athletics.
Mhm.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's total of 12. Let's see how far you get, my man.
Oh. Sweetie.
Massive miss.
Oh. Can you break it?
Breaks the nail.
I think he hits his thumb
Oh
on the one.
Oh.
There's a little bit of a. He steps back, shaking his hand out. Eyes aren't what they used to be.
This is a skill. Only really the woodworkers. What are they called? Carpenters. They're the ones who can do it well.
Carpenters. Yes.
You know, fucking what?
Yeah.
Oh.
Seeing you guys going at it and not like managing to do it, and like, you know what? Yeah,
Let's go.
it's like,
Let's fucking go.
yeah. Daly only got one
What's
ring
your
in.
-1?
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Fuck it.
Let's go, and I believe in you. If
This
this
is
the
like-
power of Daly is watching,
Take-
don't embarrass yourself.
Take another shot, like throw it back, toast to Jaylee, and be like, "What? Watch me embarrass myself." I'm going into this basically priming Jaylee with like, "This is gonna be a disaster. Watch me."
Okay. Okay. Well. Okay.
So cute. Oh my god,
Make,
and they're humble.
Make an attack roll, which I guess you have a 3 proficiency bonus, but a -1 in strength, so a +2, and then a -1 for athletics. So roll a d20 +2 for the attack, and then your athletics skill.
Okay. Add 2 to whatever this ends up being.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting a 3. Like, this is just a
Yeah,
running theme.
yes.
That's a 5.
Yeah, miss.
Do I still roll athletics?
Roll athletics,
Okay, cool.
because there's a specific mechanic to this. No.
Yeah, that's about what I expected. But I'll try again. I got 3 shots at this. Let's keep the ball rolling. We're just warming up. I'm just aligning my shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's 14.
14.
Yeah,
That hits.
that hits the nail.
Let's start.
Okay, little dink. And a miss. Roll athletics again.
That's about what I expected, but
Oh!
hey!
You like miss slightly off the nail, but you hit it really hard, so it bends the nail in half.
Oh no!
So you've hit the nail sideways on, basically, is what has happened.
Oh no!
See? Bet no one else did that.
And they're like, you say that, and then you look, and there's like a few bent nails.
Just
I'm
kick
gonna try
it
again.
around.
I feel like someone
Admirable
needs to
attempt.
succeed.
And like
Give me another 2 copper then.
and goes
Yes.
back to Jayla like, you see why I rely on magic.
Jaylee like hides a little giggle.
Yeah, that's the idea.
think you did good though.
Oh, thank you.
So that's plus 3 is
17?
yep. Yes.
25.
Hey,
Ooh,
there we go.
That's a very good start. You do a hearty drive down. Next one.
25.
Here we go.
Yep, that definitely hits the nail. Athletics.
26.
You managed to, with that like first strike, drive it down halfway. Second strike, drive it down all the way. 2 strikes, you win a free drink. Everybody cheers.
Cheers.
We have a winner. You get a little bottle of strawberry wine.
Yes.
Aw.
It's like a 500 ml bottle of strawberry wine.
Oh, putting this straight on the scrap bucket. I mean, the ephemeral chaos.
Just bleep that part out.
Congratulations!
Congrats!
Yay!
Yay! Final
Imagining
game.
Nereus nearby doing like this very sagely nod, like, yes, Paladin Luca has succeeded.
Yeah.
Truly, he is wise and strengthful.
Yeah.
Strong.
Strengthful.
Strengthful.
That's what Lucas says about himself in his head.
Large and strengthful.
Anybody want to have a go at Pin the Tail on the Dragon, even though it is like mostly for the little kids?
Can we, or any NPCs that we'd like to see playing the game? Can I
you
suggest?
can also volunteer. Yeah.
No, because I'm curious about like, let's see, who hasn't had much? Like Brina, maybe, and who else would be invited? Malachi hasn't done anything today. But
yeah, Malachi
yeah.
for sure is like, I think what Malachi is doing is actually like talking to people and handing out flyers for Malachi's magical miscellany.
Oh my god, he's spruiking. Okay.
He's spruiking. He is for sure spruiking. Roz is just sort of like sitting at a table, like drinking from a mug of cider that is like the size of her head, very slowly. So it's just like she's holding it. She has to hold it with both hands and like tip it back, but she is like clearly enjoying her evening off with free food and drink.
Aw. I'm happy for you, I guess. Yeah, maybe just Brina Celia then, if like they're not doing anything. And Sika Elsa, I'd be curious what she's doing.
You know what I think is sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but just since we're talking, we're approaching Pin the Tail on Dragon. I think N is doing, and I find this insufferable considering the atmosphere that has been arranged around N. N has like gone over to the gaggle of kids playing the Pin the Tail on the Dragon and has like started to hype up the whole competition and is like really showing their colors with how they actually know how to handle like a gaggle of kids playing a game.
Oh my god!
And are just like really bringing their A game to enhance the kids' experience on this.
Oh my god!
And
yeah.
I think while they're doing that, they lock eyes with Brita and they're like, "Hey, come on, you know you want to." Eventually,
roll a persuasion check.
All right.
Brina gives you like a little laugh and like shakes her head.
Okay.
She's in conversation with, I imagine, Seeker Elsa about this or that.
Yeah.
Like just like eating grilled fish on a stick or something like that with Celia.
No.
No.
and waves her off like, "Oh, forget you," and goes back to hyping up the kids.
Yep. Yep.
It's like, okay, Joshua, come on.
And was so cute.
Which is very funny because Pin the Tail and the Dragon is the one that doesn't actually have a prize per se. It's just a leaderboard with the winners written on it. But if you wanted to, you could offer the kids a prize.
Yeah, and like brings over one of their loaves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Win
The
a
free
slice
bread
of,
is the prize.
Yes.
win
Okay.
a slice of fancy brioche.
It's tasty
You know what?
and sweet.
I think you sweeten the pot by like offering like fruit spread or something like that, like
Yeah.
extra portion of jam or whatever,
Yeah,
extra portion of like chocolate on the bread or whatever.
something like that.
Oh,
Absolutely.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I reckon too? Because they heard you do the poem before, I feel like En's got this like presence now with the kids. You know, like kids know.
Oh,
like,
for
You're
sure.
the one on stage. You did a thing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you spoke it so confidently. Like, oh, that's the one that did the thing. So like, on top of the
Yeah.
jam offerings, it's also like
Yeah.
the cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, it's just showing off they're good with kids in front of the crush.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
I think at this point Willow rocks up, and if you would like to participate in any games or whatever, or make a final persuasion check on good old Bruno, see if you can't get
Yeah,
him aboard the ship.
I'm not leaving without. I think on the way off, Willow's going to mention to Varys and Roger, you should try the games. Maybe you'll be good at them.
Why not? When
does
your
Varys
niece
look
and
like
nephew
if he goes
something
away?
nice.
I'm gonna
Varys
insert
is Varys is like Varys kind of has the like a little bit of a my boss is here, but also like make an insight check actually on Varys. Let's see. Let's roll for charisma, my good man.
Ah! I loathe you.
Uh-huh. Another time maybe. You'll figure
Someone
what
else
out.
Anyway, no, I've gotten a lot today. Anyway, but like, no, one of you guys, when they come up to you, you better insight check them.
I think
Oh.
N is gonna actually come up to you if they have a moment when they notice you're back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we
Okay,
approach.
I'm probably gonna hop off and try and hunt down Bruno because I'm not ending this night without taking him on my boat.
Yeah, I might catch
Yeah.
you
But
But yeah,
briefly.
if I spot you.
Yep.
You were out there a while. Everything all right?
Hi, Princess here.
And makes that noise exactly.
I imagine Anne had something in their mouth at that point.
And coolly taking a bite out of like a little
Exactly.
pastry, and then that happens.
Yep, precisely that. I beg the fucking pardon out of you. What was that?
Yeah. Luca seemed. Luca invited Ryga.
Did what?
Currently going by Luca. I don't know. You're meant to be watching him when I'm on my boat.
I have other things to do than just.
Yeah, of course. How's Miss Hazelwood? That's not the point.
It gives you such a
Yeah.
like glare between their like flabbergasted shock.
Yeah, Willow's hands on their hips, looking a little bit bewildered. Yeah, we're going to have a meeting with him later. I think it's good if you and Luca come along. He knows about the Whisperers and about the Elemental, and he knows that my hull is made of saw wood from stolen wood from a Lyranda vessel that passed by. But that's besides The point. Yeah, he's here.
And
He knows.
just imagine that entire conversation resuming in an End's face as the math memes appears, and they're making such expressions, like looking around, looking at you, like, what? Did I even know about the Stoneplander wood thing? That doesn't matter, right? Yeah.
No, nobody did.
Yeah, so End was like looking around, like absorbing this, and you said that, and they gave you such a confused, scrutinizing look.
It wasn't from a Lyranda vessel, was it? It was
it wasn't.
It was being ported.
Yes, it was
imported.
just like
Exported.
Yeah, exported. Yes, it was Sorewood being exported to be sold to the highest bidder, because other ships also use Sorewood, but obviously they are crucial for airships. That being said, Ryger does not yet know about the elemental, but he does know that you, Willow, worked on elemental airships before.
Oops. Well, okay, that's okay. I will say, just to what Willow would have said before about like the Lyranda vessel, they probably meant like for a Lyranda vessel.
Yeah.
I think Willow, like even if it wasn't for a Lyranda vessel specifically, if it was heading north, like towards Ondair, or heading maybe south, maybe towards Zalago, they know that there's a high chance that Sorewood will be used for a Lyranda vessel, so they feel perfectly fine about stealing it. That's what I think Willow meant, but they're a bit rambly at the moment, and so Ryger doesn't know that the elemental, so Willow's gonna double back. Actually, I don't think he knows about the elemental, but well, that might change tonight, I suppose.
Do we have a plan for that, or is that just gonna be a thing we figure out on the fly?
Do you need water?
Maybe.
We'll hand you. I'll grab a drink from like a nearby. No, I think we're like two alone.
Oh.
I'll grab a drink from a nearby place and give it to you.
Fine, I'll just...
Yeah. I imagine you're like weaving through the crowd trying to find Bruno and just like talking amongst each other. It's noisy enough, nobody's super paying attention to you.
Yeah.
You feel confident, and it's also like...
Okay, so I will be ready for a secondary obligation tonight. Noted.
You have other plans?
No, nothing that can't wait.
You're going to walk Jaylee home. Perhaps she can stay at the Gold Dragon Inn, rather. She can stay at the Poppy, even. I mean, I'm sure she won't mind staying. Is that even what you were planning?
No, but I do have a particular interest in Jaylee's safety. That's not the point right now.
Mhm.
The point is...
What?
What are you gonna do? Should I be looking out for assassins? What? Are we good?
Actually, Willow's going to poke their head up and like look around now, do a little perception check.
And we'll do one too.
You're so zany.
Nope.
I don't see any Theranis, but I don't think they'd make themselves very obvious.
Yeah, apparently Luca didn't invite Lydia and Baron Elar as well. What a pity.
They're not here, are they?
I don't know.
Their brow.
If you have prior obligations, by all means.
I'll make it work.
Interfere.
I'll be there.
Honestly, you don't have to be.
I'll be there.
Willow shrugs in response to the stress that N has. Willow seems oddly like fine.
I will say that N's I'll be there is not stressed.
No. Beforehand stress. Pardon me. You're choking and sputtering and what the hell do we do? That part, that's what Willow's shrug is like.
Yeah, N's kind of started to match your energy after the initial, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do want, while we're still in the throes of the what the fuck phase, I wouldn't mind if Luca approaches.
Hello, fellow, ephemeral chaotic.
I'm going to grab him by his little neckerchief real quick.
It's a bow.
Is he wearing his neckerchief?
He is.
He would be wearing his party clothes, yes.
Yes.
He's in his party clothes? Okay. Yep. So I'm going to grab him by that
The little
and
ribbon
pull
on his...
him down. Yes, both of them, like rabbit ears, and kind of yank him down to eye level. Luca.
Yeah.
And is back to eating and looking between the two of you from the aside.
Who did you invite?
Oh. Everyone I could think of.
Why, pray tell, did you invite the High Prince?
Is he here?
Sorry, Willow has that reaction of like, you invited him and you didn't even like monitor him. He just kind of like, that's fine. Willow will grin. No, he's here.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Why?
Why what?
Why did you invite him?
You said to invite everyone.
Didn't say that.
Oh, well, invite,
Willow looks to the side as they remember that they said to invite everyone important.
And gives a bit of a nod, like, yeah, you did say that.
You weren't even there. Shut your mouth. Yeah, we'll now kind of release Luca's bow and let him return to full height if he wants.
Did you get to meet him?
He's gone by Roger tonight, hanging out with Varys over at the games now, I believe, dressed as a fisherman. And
well, that he did say that's what he was planning to do if he came.
Okay, how did you speak? When did you speak to him?
Didn't you tell us about this, Luca?
Oh, you didn't make it. Was I supposed to? When I went to Regalport, I just went to his ship and.
You went to the Dragon Eye.
Yeah.
You boarded the Dragon Eye.
Mm-hmm.
How? With you?
I just asked nicely.
Willow looks at N with like, are you hearing this?
N gives like a big shrug, like, somehow I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Willow's smile fades immediately, and they look back to Luca. You asked him. Oh, you asked him. You just used it.
Well, I offered, and he said he might be able to come. Yeah. But not as the High Prince, just as a friend of Varys. Luca thinks he did so well.
Honestly, it's.
Honestly, you did.
You did. Honestly, I think that's actually dawning on Willow's face too. Like, you didn't actually do anything wrong. You did what I said. You used the skill that I told you you had. You asked in earnest, and now we have an appointment with him that will help us moving forward through the principalities and away.
I thought that
you actually did good.
You did good in such a way as to defy all expectations.
Does Willow seem like they want to know why Luca invited him?
I mean, I
has
fucking
a reason.
asked twice.
Yeah. Okay.
I asked. So anyway, Willow's gone quiet, and they seem receptive to information. So you can tell me if you want to answer me saying why twice earlier.
Yep.
Luca nods, and now he straightens up. Well, when Captain Varys was staying at the Poppy, and we would talk about things, the way he talked about the Silver Dancer kind of made it seem like it was not just a boat, if that makes sense. It's not just a pile of materials that gets you from one point to another. There was like... And you do the same thing, I noticed. So I thought it's probably a sailor thing that he's supposed to give a level of respect to your vessel. Looks at Willow like, is that correct?
Willow gives the shortest nod.
So I thought that the ephemeral chaos deserves to have the respect given to it for all the things that it's done, like bringing Captain Varys home or helping the people that we helped at the Reef. So the High Prince is a good person to represent all of the people who couldn't be here to pay their respects. Lucas smiles. And I thought you could pick his brain about his ship because it seemed like it was special.
Oh, you're in luck. We do have an appointment with him now, or at least Willow does, and we're invited.
Willow's head like slings back on their shoulders, and they laugh. Like not laugh. It's like a breath of a laugh, kind of disbelieving that is actually so nice of you to think about. They're not even mad at you.
Shockingly. Shockingly.
They're actually endeared.
Luca's secret power.
Oh my god.
It works on you too. You are not immune to Luca.
Oh.
Does
I think with
Willow seem okay?
They seem okay. They seem okay. I think honestly, compared to how they grabbed you before, they're now like they're fine.
They've relaxed.
They're probably going to roll their eyes now and say, "Listen, I'm looking for Bruno. Has anyone seen him?"
Everybody make a perception check. DC is not that high.
17.
And it's just like, what my god, the High Prince is
And thinking about something
Luca,
else.
you spot him first.
Ooh.
and is preoccupied otherwise. Luca, you spot him first, and Willow shortly after. Bruno is over by the tables, like, drinking and eating, chatting with other people. I'm gonna say he's talking up proudly of like what a state the ship was in when Bruno first gave it to you to fix up, and now look at her, she's so beautiful and sails like a dream.
What? Oh my god.
He's a little
Okay.
bit in his cups.
Aw.
I didn't think he got in his cups.
He rarely
Dirtying
does.
himself. It's a special occasion.
I think
See,
Willow looks
somebody
like...
had Bruno like another 2 drinks.
I'm going to pat you guys on the shoulder real quick, like distracted, and then kind of scamper off real quick, and I'm going to claim one of those drinks. I'm going to slide in beside Bruno and claim one.
There they are! Sailor of the hour.
Hi. What have I missed?
I think Bruno just like tells you that he's been talking up your ship and says like, talk about the construction, finest woodwork, like it's just like, you know, your uncle that is very proud of you rambling on.
Willow's going to kind of pat him on the back, say, all of this chatter, and you haven't, you know, had a spin yet.
Oh, I wouldn't want to steal the glory.
Willow gestures at
says-
the empty line before the ship. No glory left, so just
Okay.
you.
I'm gonna roll a d20. I think this is for the crowd to say, go on, Bruno, go on, Mr. Saltbeard, have a spin, have a ride. It's your pride and joy, pride of the Salvage dry docks. And like, they help you bully him on board.
I'm gonna insight check him again. Is he okay? I want to know why he's avoiding it.
Roll insight.
There's something that Bruno is very embarrassed about, but he cannot back down now, so he will accompany you aboard
The ephemeral chaos.
Oh my god, Bruno! Okay. When we're alone,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going. We're alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna check on him.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I even begin? I don't want to embarrass him. Willow might.
I think you try and go and check on him, and you pause for a second, and Bruno says, "Well, go on, make sail then."
Damn. Okay. Willow's about to ask something, and is like, "Oh, okay." Hops to it.
Okay.
Yeah, they have to kind of do this themselves, I imagine. It's as close as it gets to the solo ship run.
Yep. Yeah. Let me just do a quick little roll for dear old Saltbeard. Yep, that's what I thought. So, you're out, you set sail, it's a beautiful night, gentle breeze rolling off the coast, enough to get a good full sail, but without being too choppy. And then you see Bruno sort of standing at the prow of the ship, white knuckle gripping onto the railing, breathing heavily through his mouth.
I think Willow has been kind of because he kind of he cut them off before they could.
Mm-hmm.
Willow's been standing behind the wheel, watching him, and now they've seen that he hasn't moved a muscle since he hopped on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're gonna set the wheel. They're gonna kind of turn it back. Unfortunately, I do think that that's a bit of a sharp turn. So if Bruno does not like the situation, it's a bit like a heck. And then they're going to fix it in place and then march out on deck. Since when?
Oh, shut your mouth.
Why not tell
One
me
of my-
before we set off? I wouldn't force you on here.
You think it isn't my greatest shame that I'm a shipbuilder who gets seasick easily?
I was trying to be concerned, but it's just kind of funny. Oh my god. Willow just comes up behind him with hands ready to maybe pat him on the back or hold his shoulders, and they'll give him an indication of where to fix his eyes so that he doesn't feel queasy. But I feel oh my gosh. Oh. Sorry, I don't think Willow can say anything but laugh.
Bruno just groans.
If you breathe a word of this.
He can't even finish the threat.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I think Willow's so annoying. But we're far out at the bay.
Yeah.
And I think Willow's going to go back to the wheel. They'll tell Bruno, come back, don't go gazing out at the rocky. I think you look at the horizon, don't you, if you get seasick?
Yes. Bruno
Something
is specifically
stationary.
clutching to the edge so that if there is an accident, which is very likely because he rolled very poorly.
Okay, yeah, well, Willow's going to try and get back as quick as we can. And so I think Willow's going to pull up the little mouthpiece next to him and try and say to the elemental, let's hurry along.
Make a persuasion check. Not quite enough.
Willow taps on the mouthpiece. Hello.
It can hear you. It's just not listening to you.
Annoying.
Can't win them all tonight.
Willow's gonna bark at it. Willow's gonna bark at it. It's my birthday! And then close the mouthpiece.
What's primordial for
Okay.
birthday?
And they say
I
it
think
in
you're
common.
just
Yeah.
you're just shouting in common at it.
They close the mouthpiece with like a swing of the hand, and then like we'll return outside to try and make it as fast as possible. Try and catch the winds.
Yeah.
A smooth and easy sail back to the docks.
Make a water vehicles check using dexterity.
It's the worst I've sailed all night.
You're doing your best.
Yeah.
But you are doing this alone, so it is taking more time, and every now and then you're like checking on Bruno, who is
nice.
doing okay now that he's just like staring at the horizon, but he is still very much gripping onto the railing. And like barking at you over his shoulder to like just sail the ship.
Willow is barking back at him now, like, I'm trying. I don't know why you came aboard.
Well, you gave me no choice.
I gave you a choice. It's always since when have I had any control over you?
Just this argument going back and forth.
Oh my gosh.
Bruno saying you peer pressured him into it
I did not.
by asking him in front of everybody to go aboard the ship. Like, of course he can't say no. I get seasick. Yeah. He'd be the laughing stock of the dry docks. Everybody looks up to him. Do you know what kind of pressure that is? It's just like this really ridiculous argument of like, you have embarrassed Grandpa at the neighborhood barbecue.
Oh my god, Willow's not even like taking that as like, hey, Bruno's actually conveying some feelings towards me. It's very, I paused and you told me to keep going. There was an opportunity for you to come in and tell me that like we weren't going to go on the sit. Willow's starting to like run out of words, but they're trying to say, I paused. Don't you dare insinuate that I didn't pause.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they just
Bruno's like, I can't double back on that. I said I was going. I was going.
Of course you can. You run this town.
It's such a stupid argument, and like honestly, he is genuinely just being stubborn and embarrassed. It's very funny.
Willow's getting offended. Like, I would never insinuate that I'd force you on a boat if I knew this was the condition that you were under. If I knew you were assailed by this. Oh my god. They pull back into dock, and I imagine it's that quiet, like post-argument quiet of like, in a funny way.
Yeah.
Willow will give him a hand to help him off. Does he take it?
Begrudgingly, but yes, he takes it. Like I said,
I think
I'm proud of you.
Before he manages to say that, I think Willow, with their hands on their hips, say, well, I hope I haven't ruined the entire ceremony.
Yeah. It's a fine vessel.
Good, and it's thanks to you.
Merely gave you the opportunity. You're the one that saw it to fruition.
Nope. If there was one thing that you were meant to glean from this entire ceremony today, it was gratitude to you. So, yeah.
I think Bruno like does a little hump and then drags you down for a hug.
Oh. Oh.
It's like a brusque, rough hug, claps you on the shoulders.
I think Willow gets like winded. It feels like a winding kind of hug.
Yeah.
Willow wasn't expecting
Then
it.
releases you.
Oh, it's quick. It's quick.
Yeah. It's quick.
Willow immediately just sedate, like from peak of yelling to just like
Yeah.
totally chill, a little bit narrow-shouldered.
Was there something you wanted to ask of me?
Want bread?
Sure, let's grab a bite.
Yep, Willow's is flicky. We'll go take Bruno to settle his tummy and have a loaf, one of N's loaves.
Yeah. Are you going to ask him about that favor you wanted?
I was going to, but it seems like maybe tonally at a different time. If I don't know if you want.
I think it winds down enough, and you're able to get the party spirit back.
Yeah, no. I think it would rely on a bit more of a more quiet conversation. I think if it's the both of us, just like.
Yeah, I think it's like things are winding down now. Evening is ending. A lot of the parents have gone home with their kids who are like falling asleep on shoulders and stuff.
Yeah.
The party is winding down or moving indoors. Lots of vendors have they're running out of food and drink. Everybody's had plenty. Including you three. You've all had a good feed. I will say. So
I do imagine actually Willow might not have eaten the whole time, so this might be the first time they sit down to eat.
Okay, well, you sit down to eat, you get I'm sure Eka set aside something for you specifically.
Whole pie. Full on personal pie. Willow may ask, so Willow will gesture to his forearm tattoos. The kind of feels not to be rude, but do you get sick when you look at those as well?
No.
That's a relief.
Bruno rolls his eyes.
That history check was to roll. Do I know the history of his tattoos?
I'm sure he's told you them before.
Yeah.
They're quite symbolic on, or rather, they're quite abstract on his actual sprite design, but in person they would have more specific details in among the waves. So swallows, anchors, that sort of thing. Little messages hidden in among the swirls of the waves. So usual sailor's fair tattoos that will sort of tell a bit of his life story as a sailor and carpenter and builder of ships.
I think Willow's kind of stuck looking at them, and it's been a while, but I think they look back to their ship, and then sort of pull out their arm from underneath their jacket, and they say to Bruno, "Been thinking before I go. Should probably add to this."
Bruno looks at it. What would you add?
My ship.
Good choice. Wonder if I still have my old needle and ink kit around.
Quick question. He's implying he tattoos?
Yes.
Damn. Is he... Do I know that? Did Willow know that?
You decide.
I don't know. I don't know if they would. I'm assuming he hasn't done it any time within the past 8 years.
I think he would have.
He would have?
Yeah. I think one of the things is new sailors get tattoos all the time. It's again one of those superstition things.
So
Not that he's
true.
like the most prominent one in Salvage who does it, but he's definitely one of the few people who does do it.
I think even if Willow knew, and I'm sure they would have, because I feel like people around the docks would show off like Bruno
Yeah.
doing a tattoo. Actually, I'm getting like a very vivid image of like way back Willow seeing him like tattooing someone on the docks, and Willow at that point in Salvage like covering all of their tattoos. They're
Mhm.
all. We'll get into that later about why they would, but they're not unlike Bruno, and their theory behind their tattoos is not unlike Bruno's. But I think Willow perks a little. Would you, I mean, if you find, and if you have the time, I mean, I know I'm leaving shortly, but would
Come to me tomorrow morning. We'll get you sorted right.
Willow nods.
If you don't have any prior engagements, that is.
Well, got a meeting with the High Prince tonight, but other than that, should be fine.
Bruno raises an eyebrow. Like, huh?
Willow just eats.
Kids these days.
On the scene of like, I think Willow and Bruno are sharing a drink and a meal,
Yeah.
like overlooking the ship with Salvage behind them. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On my birthday?
Yeah.